On today's Part of My Take, we have a twofer. We have Ja Morant and Stu Feiner, the source, your source, Stu Feiner. We went out to Stu Land in Farmingdale, New York, interviewed him. He hasn't been on the show in a few years. Always great to catch up with him, and a great interview with Ja Morant. We have NBA Finals Game 1. We have, because we don't have a show on Monday, we have Who's Back of the Week and Hot Seat Cool Throne, a little The Match recap. And also Guys on Chicks, and also 2 new producers. So we will introduce them on the other side. But we have a great show for you, back in action, and we're brought to you by our friends at Money Lion. Money Lion, let me talk to you about Money Lion, a badass financial app with 7.5 million users. Listen, life happens. You don't know when life will decide to ruin a good time with unexpected expenses, and that's why Money Lion, an award-winning financial app, gives its members up to $250 at 0% APR. No questions asked. Does your bank do that? Up to $250 with no interest? That's the backup we all need when life throws us a curveball. Sometimes there's things that you can't plan for. Well, Money Lion is there for you. So go to the App Store and download Money Lion now. Do it right now. Money Lion, like the animal. It is an awesome app. You can download it from the App Store, and you can make sure that you are set up for those curveballs that come your way at any given time. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Money Lion. Go download it right now in the App Store for life's curveballs. Money Lion is there for you. Today is Wednesday, July 7th.
Suns in 4.
Suns in
4. Actually, Suns in 3 now. It's going to happen.
Suns.
Yeah, it's going to happen. My analysis of the game comes down to this. Giannis was not as injured as we were told that he was, because just from the start, he went out there and he was the most athletic player on the court.
Well, I actually am totally fine with Giannis being put into the Adrian Peterson club of the people that just don't have knee ligaments or regular bodies that are anything like the human body, because he was so injured and then he wasn't. And I don't know what happened in between, but it's just Giannis because he's a freak. I do actually want to do one thing, though, PFT, because we got to talk about the Suns in 4. But because of the way the schedule broke, I feel a little bad for Bucks fans, because Saturday they clinch their first NBA Finals in, I don't know, it was like 40 years or something like that. July 4th is Sunday. Monday's July 5th. No one's really working July 5th either. And then you get thrown into the Valley and you lose Game 1. You had no time to enjoy the fact that you're going to the NBA Finals. You had no time for people to digest the Eastern Conference Finals. So I want to do that for the Bucks for one moment before we talk about how the Suns are going to win this series in 4. Chris Middleton was incredible in Game 6. Drew Holiday was incredible in Game 6. I'm proud of the Bucks for basically handling business when I thought maybe the Hawks. I didn't think Trae Young was too injured to play. Like he gutted it out, but he clearly wasn't himself. But the Bucks deserve all the credit for getting to the NBA Finals, going through the Eastern Conference Final. I know there's been injuries along the way, but we don't apologize for those when you're a fan of a team. So credit to the Bucks, credit to the Bucks fans. Here's your moment. If we had a show on Monday, unfortunately, we're already talking about.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll pretend like we didn't have a show. And you're right; they didn't get a chance to tune in to get up and hear Mike Greenberg talk about how great the Bucks were and how impressive that performance was. That's the best part of your team advancing in any sport. Is like we've said before, you get to read the articles. Those Bucks fans should be allowed to go to work. If you don't live in Milwaukee, you should be allowed to go into work and just stand next to a water cooler and pretend that Game 1 hasn't happened yet, and just berate the Hawks fan that
Correct.
Or like a Mavericks fan or a Clippers fan, and be like, "Ha, you guys going golfing early, huh? That's a shame." Like you need that chance to bust your coworkers' balls a little bit. So I will allow our listeners, if they're in that position, a 1-day pass.
Yeah, it really is. It really sucks how it broke out for them, because this never happens, because the NBA Finals are never in July, and the fact, like, guess what? July 4th, everyone's talking about America. They're not talking about the Bucks. So you missed all of Sunday, and Monday was a total wash as well. So Bucks fans, feel proud for yourself. You should get your moment in the sun. This is your moment. We're saying it right now. I really do. I was like legitimately very impressed with how they finished that series, because they always say, closing out a series is the mark of a good team, not letting teams linger around, not letting it go to 7 games. Chris Middleton, that legacy quarter he's had a lot of legacy quarters, but he was incredible. So Bucks fans, there's your moment. I feel bad that, and this is a long series. I'm not going to overreact to game 1, but Suns in 4 is just really fun to say. And when the Suns win game 1, guess what?
I will overreact, Big Cat. I'll take that bait. I'll say Suns in 4, Suns in 3 from right now. If Chris Paul plays like that, there's nothing you can do. The only thing I was thinking, like, if I were trying to devise a defense to stop Chris Paul, the only thing I can think of is what I hear smart people say when they talk about basketball, which is they either are or are not switching enough on screens. So whatever they did in this game, you need to do the opposite of switching on screens of what you did tonight, and that should shut Chris Paul down. So that's my analysis of the game.
Dude, Bobby Portis bowl for life, but holy shit. He had that stretch where Chris Paul cooked him like 4 times in a row. And I want to give Bobby Portis some credit, because he did the thing that you have to do when you're in the middle of getting fried on national television, or if you're playing in a pickup game, the same exact thing that has to happen. You then go down and take a really bad shot, just hoping that you'll make it, so everyone will be like, well, now it's Chris Paul versus Bobby Portis. They're going back and forth. He missed the shot. It was a bad shot, but I respect the fact that he had to take that shot, because everyone knows when you get burned multiple times, you have to shoot the next possession. You have to try to even the score, so in your head you can be like, all right, he's got 6, but I got 2. Like, it's not as bad as it looks. But Bobby Portis, it was actually criminal that he was left out on an island with Chris Paul in those moments. Like,
if he had made that shot, then Mike Breen's like a couple alpha males going right at each other. This is why we watch the game. Yeah.
Dominique versus Larry. Yeah, right. Oh man, we're watching 2
There's
greats
another way to get
battle
out, and
it
that's
out.
just fake an injury if you're Bobby Portis. I think I probably would have gone for the fake an injury route after the time where Chris Paul, he did the Josh Allen thing where he mashed all the buttons with the ball, but he went between both legs, behind the back, I think, with both hands, threw in a couple crossovers, and just absolutely roasted it. At that point, like, he's a witch. This guy's doing witchcraft right now. I can't be expected to defend against that. I'm just going to fake, I got a hamstring. That's a shame. Happens to all of us.
And Chris Paul was obviously incredible. And the Suns, though, they had all their big 3 playing pretty much their peak performances. The only thing you could say is Devin Booker was like not great from 3, but Chris Paul had 32, Devin Booker had 27, and then DeAndre Ayton threw in a 22 and 19. Like, he was all over the place. So you can't beat them if all 3 of those guys are playing that way. And so that's where we land.
Big 4,
Suns in
Big
4
Cat
because
campaign played pretty well tonight too.
Also, Frank Kaminsky had 4 minutes. Didn't record a stat, but he had 4 minutes. Hey, guess what? You know what? Everyone who's making fun of Frank Kaminsky for not beating up Pat Beverly, even though that's what I saw, if Frank Kaminsky had fought Pat Beverly there, he wouldn't have been able to play those 4 minutes.
So wait,
tonight. He would have been suspended.
He had 4 points, right? Oh, 4 minutes.
No, he had 4 minutes.
Yeah.
It's easily confused.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, who knows what would have happened? Those are big minutes. What was his plus minus? Okay, perfect. So he helped you
0
tread water for a little bit. Yeah.
He actually.
Okay.
He had a 4 trillion.
I love it. But the most important thing, Big Cat, is that he was out there for his teammates tonight.
Yes, exactly. The only other thing I had from this game, the Suns crowd.
That's what I'm saying.
That is the coolest crowd of all time. Like, that is a party that I would never get invited to. But if I did get invited to, everyone would be like, look at that cop over there. And I'd feel extra fat. Like, I'd walk in and all of a sudden I walk through the door and my shirt, it feels way tighter and my tits are bigger, because that crowd, like half of the crowd, I don't even know if they know a basketball game's on. They're just partying so fucking hard and having such a great time. I just love it. Like, they all look like they've just been toasting in the sun, maybe a little bit of ecstasy, and then ball out with the boys.
You're right. With the Suns crowd, they seem awesome. They seem like the greatest group of fellas to ever watch a game with. And they just remind me kind of a Los Angeles crowd. If like all the Laker bros were really into BMX and dirt bike racing, and there were just not enough good tracks in LA, and they like to do designer drugs a little bit more, then they move out to the desert. And those are fun guys to party with. And it's definitely the look of a crowd that is just thankful to be in air conditioning. You can tell that, like, more than anything, if you get 30,000 people from the Phoenix area in a building that has a moderate climate, they're just going to go nuts because they're comfortable.
It's actually a great point because going from the summer heat all day into air conditioning is actually the greatest drug ever created. It really does change your entire mind or whatever. What is it? Your mind psychology. That's not the right words. It's late. By the way, check in. It's almost midnight, so my brain's not working. But it is the greatest drug ever. So you're exactly right. And then on top of it, they're probably doing drugs. I don't know my LA towns very well, so probably people will roast me for this. But it's like if the Lakers played all their games at Long Beach. I think I nailed
I'm going to
that.
say
I think I nailed that.
As if everybody from Bakersfield lived in Kauai. Yeah, like the island of Kauai.
Is that the island?
The island of Kauai.
Or the player?
I can see how that might be
okay. I like
difficult
that.
to comprehend because there is a player named Kauai, but
yeah, Kauai, yeah. Yeah, and he does. Like, living in his mind would probably be the absence
you would
of
just
thought.
feel like you're in the Matrix at that point.
Right. Last thing on this game, we did get LeBron's tweet after the game. 1 down, 3 to go, CP3. I'm just, at this point, I'm excited to see what LeBron's Instagram post is going to be.
I'll just say it right now, if the
Suns
Suns win, LeBron should get a ring.
Absolutely should get a ring. Absolutely.
Listen,
CP3's
LeBron
best friend.
is putting this team on his back, Big Cat. He is willing the Suns to an NBA championship.
I wouldn't be shocked if LeBron gets on one of the floats.
Yeah.
Just to be there.
Well, basically, he shares enough business connection. He's basically Chris Paul's manager. So you usually invite your managers or your reps, your PR guys. They get to hang out during the parades. Absolutely, LeBron should be there. He should get to drive one of the funny little cars.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so other things we're going to get to. The match. It happened. It was bad. It was good, but it was bad. It's actually I like the idea. They shouldn't have done it. I don't know if how far out they schedule these, but doing it on the night of the NBA Finals, I watched the first 6 or 7 holes. It's okay, now there's a real sporting event going on, the NBA Finals. I watched long enough though to realize that Bryson came with all these jokes and he ran out of them in the second hole, and Phil Mickelson just had to carry the whole crew because Aaron Rodgers is a little surly. Tom Brady, I think he's got some jokes, but then he runs out as well. Phil Mickelson he's the guy. He's the guy who makes the match go, and he gets all the credit in my mind for being just fun to be around. He even he tried to do a bet with Bryson, and Bryson couldn't understand the concept of it, which was very funny. And also my favorite moment was when Brady was deep in a sand trap, and Phil Mickelson was yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to hit it out of this. It's Phil, you're one of the greatest sand trap players of all time. And you're just yeah, dude, just swing the club and it will go towards the hole, and then we'll putt it.
Yeah, Bryson definitely rolled
hole.
up with a Google Doc just filled with everything he wanted to get off his chest. And at the end, he did save one. He saved one thing for the very end, which was he wanted to make a San Antonio joke to Charles Barkley. And he was able to squeeze that in. He almost forgot because he was approaching the last hole. And you could tell that, okay, if they make this putt, they're going to win. He was I need to get this one in under the wire because this was the one piece of gold that I want to save. But, yeah, he was ready to go with, he had his knee slappers. And I was rooting for the course personally. I don't know about you. It was a beautiful course. I was hoping that Bryson was going to get eaten by a bear on live television. I mean, I thought, no joke, I'm not even kidding. If Bryson DeChambeau had been killed and eaten by a grizzly bear during the match, that would have been the funniest thing that's ever been played on television.
And Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have tried to save him because they were not like friends and they were not really friendly at all. And the other great moment was Gronk calling in, and in perfect Gronk fashion, he like didn't realize that when he called in, everyone could hear what he was saying. And he made like a comment about Aaron Rodgers retiring. And then Aaron Rodgers was like, "What was that, Gronk?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were on the line." It was like, of course Gronk doesn't understand this concept. But overall, it was good. I just wish they should have played it in the middle of the day on Monday when there was stupid Rob Manfred didn't have any baseball games going on, and everyone was like, "Hey, there's no sports on. Play that." That's when, like, it's a great concept. It just needs to be played when it's not up against any other real sport, because I just won't pick the match.
They
over
definitely scheduled it a long time ago because this, in their minds, was going to be when there was, you get a little break from sports for a couple of weeks in mid-July. So they thought they had that scheduled out perfectly, but it turns out that because of COVID and all that stuff, everything got mixed around. But yeah, it was fun. It's like fun hearing Phil Mickelson talk shit because he's like so naturally good at it. You can tell that like all this stuff is just like how he normally acts, even when microphones aren't on him. Maybe he's not dropping as many C-bombs as he normally does, but it's definitely stuff like this is how Phil acts just all the time. That's why they call him Fig Jam. The fuck I'm good, just ask me. That's his actual personality, like 100% to a T. I back to the course just real quick because the mountains in the background, I realized you can put mountains behind any sporting event, and it makes it so much cooler to watch. Like when they play that Thursday night game or something out in Utah during football season, and you get a glimpse of some mountains. Mountains in the background of anything. I mean, shit, the last 2 seasons of Yellowstone sucked, but I watched every single episode of it because it might be shitty dialogue, but you're in front of like the most beautiful scenery in the entire world. So I probably watched the match longer than I normally would have if it was being played at that like last course in Florida or South Carolina or whatever it was. I like sporting events with mountains next to them.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's why the Rose Bowl, those little mountains, they're like foothills, but they're still are, mountains, and that's part of the allure of it. So you're absolutely right that Aaron Rodgers looked like he was very happy in Montana. I tweeted out during the match, but I think, speaking as a football fan, if Aaron Rodgers decided that was his last competitive event in the history of his life, I think us as fans would applaud him, and he doesn't owe us anything more. And next stop, Canton. So I just want to get that out there. Incredible career. What a way to finish it too, as a win on a win. People don't finish their careers on wins. They hang on too long. Aaron Rodgers is walking off a winner right now. So congrats to him.
I was going to say, like, career. You got Peyton Manning winning Super Bowl, riding off into the sunset. John Elway doing the same, I think. And then Aaron Rodgers winning the match and no longer playing football after that. There's nowhere to go but down at this point. And really, you upstage Brady. Like, Brady can't retire a winner right now. If Brady wanted to retire, sure, he won the Super Bowl or whatever that was, but he lost the match.
Right, exactly. All right, I have a question for you, PFT. It's the Roback question, because I forgot to do it in the interview, so I'm going to do it right now. The Roback question, use code PFT on roback.com for 20% off your first purchase. That's RHOBACK.com with code PFT. They make the best performance polos and hoodies, and they just dropped new 4th of July gear for you, so go check it out right now. My question is, are you feeling a little bit – Bryson's weird. That's actually the question. Bryson's weird. And I actually stand by what I said on Friday's show, that there's 5% of me, which won't come out often. Like you saw, I made jokes at his expense today, and I will continue to do so. But 5% of me will deep down feel a little weird for him or bad for him because he doesn't know how to converse. Like when they were busting his balls, you could see it on his face. He just didn't know. He wasn't computing with him. He didn't understand it. So that's where the I feel bad for him. So my question is, do you understand?
My answer to you is yes. Bryson is weird. Good question. He's weird. He's a weird guy. I don't think I'll ever feel bad for him. I just think he's so because the personality that he puts out there and everything that he's tried to turn himself into is in the image of a guy that does not give a shit what anyone thinks of him. So if you're going to put that image out, if you're going to gain like 30 pounds of totally legal muscle and act like you're like the big tough guy in golf and I hit bombs, I'm the big swinging nuts on the golf course. I'm gonna have zero remorse when it comes to telling you that your hat sucks. So no, I'm not. I will not apologize, Big Cat. I will not apologize for making fun of Bryson.
No, I'm not
DeChambeau
asking
ever.
you to. I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying hurt people hurt people. So when I see Bryson, he's hurt. And that's why he hurts people.
I don't think he's hurt because bears can smell weakness. And if he was actually hurt, a bear would have killed him on the course. I would have laughed, but then probably felt bad about him being mauled to death. So I take back what I said earlier. I will feel bad for Bryson if he dies via the paw of a grizzly bear on television.
I also have no problem people calling me soft for that take, but it's the truth. I'm going to keep making fun of him. 95% is a lot. That's the 95% that's going to keep making fun of him. The 5% is just deep down every now and then I might just pump the brakes on it and be like, okay, I'm not going to make fun of him this time. 5% of the time. Should we talk a little soccer? It is coming home, even though this might be a terrible jinx because England does play against the team of destiny today. But that Spain-Italy game was electric. The Euros are just electric. I just love watching soccer in the middle of the day. It's the perfect warm-up for other sports.
Italy looked really good today, and that dude Chiesa, my guy Chiesa, he's the next GOAT. Like we might be seeing a torch event happen in the next year, 2 years, where Messi passes that torch. Chiesa's a beast, had an awesome shot, awesome score. I just love the Italians because they look so Italian. Everybody on the Italian national team, when they cut to him, they could be wearing a neon yellow shirt, and I'd be like, that motherfucker is Italian. They all hit that like real juicy prime spot that I'm looking for, and so it's fun to watch. That sounded weird. The second that I said it sounded weird about the juicy prime spot, but I'm going to continue with my thought that I actually do love the look of really Italian people, almost like looking at a cartoon. It's like I'm watching The Sopranos on a soccer field, but I think it is coming home. I think England's going to win. I think they're going to dominate Denmark, and I think that Italy versus England on Saturday this week. That's up in the air. I heard somebody say it's coming Rome if Italy wins. So it's coming home versus it's coming Rome. Basically, what you can set your watch to is the most heartbreaking possible exit for Italy. The most heartbreaking possible exit for England will happen. And so now I think that would be losing in the finals to Italy. I don't think that they're going to have any problem with Denmark because they're not really a team of destiny. The guy's alive. So, and thankfully he's alive.
Yeah.
But they're not bringing him out until the finals. He's going to be in the stadium surrounded by EMTs in the finals. They should do that in the semis.
No, that's a carrot for them to get to the finals. They can't let him down now. He might die.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see it happening with Denmark. Although the players from Denmark, when they talk, it always reminds me of Morten Andersen with that like crazy cool accent that you never hear. The Denmark accent's very underrated.
Yes. Yeah, no, they do have Team of Destiny vibes. I don't know. I'm also rooting for extra time in all these games because it really does just bridge the gap. You're watching a game at 3:00. You're like, it'd be sweet if this game lasted till like 5:45, and then there'd be more games coming on. So just more of that in the sports calendar needs to happen, where we just have games just stacked up on games. So you never really have to, like Monday was the worst because there just were no games and you just sat there being like,
one thing I really
now?
enjoy about the European soccer too is all the coaches dressed up in their like finest suits and most stylish like skinny ties and stuff. You'll never see an American football coach wearing clothes that fit them. And every single European football, I call them managers, they all look like they came directly from the tailor out onto the field. They're
either Bond villains or like like 80-year-old guys that look like they should probably have died a long time ago. And then if you like tweet their name and we're like, oh, you don't know about him? He had the golazo of 1964. And they'll like tweet that at you and be like, how could you not know this? So yeah, I think the Italy manager was wearing jeans.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like usually a really old former player of the team that has like one last chance to secure his legacy as a coach, or else people are going to be like, you ran the national team into the ground. Right. So he's always really nervous about that last one. But I have a question for you about England, because we've been saying it's coming home, which I still firmly believe it could be coming home. When did England become so likable as a country?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Probably Troops.
He saved England.
Troops. He saved England. Yeah. So actually, no. Barstool saved England because we hired troops.
We say so. World War I saved your asses. World War II saved your asses. Meghan and Harry left. Barstool came in. We saved your asses.
Yeah. I think also The Crown, that show on Netflix.
It's really also because they lost a lot, and they lost very politely. They hit almost a fast forward button on becoming lovable losers. They became like English soccer fans became Bill's Mafia just by being so polite over the course of the years, where they had these heartbreaking defeats that now you want to see them redeem themselves.
I also think that it's like a fan base that can never get tan. You kind of feel bad for them because they'll never get to like their peak hotness. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what you look like in December or January when you're looking ghostly and it's like, oh, you see a picture like, oh, that's gross. I need to get tan. Like you have a peak level of your hotness, and that is in the middle of the summer when you get a nice tan. Whereas England, it's like none of those people can get tan. So they just are, they're always at this level of, whoa, are you like, can I put my hand through
I'll
you?
take it one step further. I think if you live in England, you're never going to be truly happy with anything. The entire island, you can have like some good stuff happen to you at work, but at the end of the day, like your job probably sucks. It's gray outside all the time. You're not ever going to be like really psyched in every facet of your life if you live in England. So why not throw the lads a bone every now and again and let them win a Euro?
Think about it. You drink warm beer and eat beans every day. Like, life can't be good. Life can't be good if you can't get tan, you drink warm beer, and you eat beans. That's not a great, like, that your peak is not peaking.
The thing you get
that
most excited about in the world is like watching your frumpy old mascot drag her corgis around on a like asphalt sidewalk in the middle of downtown London, and then everyone has to pretend to be happy about it. This is a country filled with people who are generally polite regarding most things. They're understated, but it's because they know that, like, hey, there's really nothing for me to be that pumped up about, so I'm just going to be quietly polite all my life, and hopefully one or two good sports things will happen, and that's really the most that you can hope for out of any life.
And their accents are cool, because like whenever an English person says anything, it could be the least funny thing said, but it's still funny. So they have that. Like it basically is the perfect mix where everything's shit for them, but every word they say seems funny. So it seems like they're really cool, like go with the flow. Hey, at least I have my sense of humor about me type of people.
Absolutely.
And that's a good person to be around.
I really want to see some English shows put all their cast of characters together to whip up a video super fast in the next like 3 or 4 days. Like, I want to see the Peaky Blinders meeting down at their pub and like raising a pint to the British national team before the game on Saturday, before they suffer heartbreak. I want to see like all the British stars come out with, you know how they sometimes do that? You rally around a national team on an occasion like this. Give me the Peaky fucking Blinders, like threatening to slice Italians' eyeballs out with their hats before Saturday. That's what I want to see.
Isn't that like season 4?
Well, that's every season. They got, some of them have horses in them, and that's it.
Yeah, but
that's right. Adrian
Brody, right? Yeah, that is season 4. They should just play season 4. Might not be season 4, but whatever season has Adrian Brody, they just should play that last episode and be like, "This is what we're gonna do." All right, so we're rooting for England. Let's do who's back of the week. Then we have Ja Morant, Stu Feiner. Then we're gonna finish the show with the hot seat, cool throne, and a quick guys on chicks. So who's back of the week is brought to you by our friends at Cash App. The stock market is back, investing through Cash App, buying and selling Bitcoin. And, of course, when you download the Cash App and enter the referral code Barstool, you'll receive $10 for free, $10 to the ASPCA. Download the Cash App now and do it right now from the App Store, Google Play Store today. The Cash App is back. Okay, what also is back is vacation is back. Hank, Liam, Jake, Billy, all on vacation, a much-deserved vacation. In their place, we have guest producers, this is exciting because we've never had guest producers here. So we have Jake Lasofsky and Youngstown Bob, also known as Tungstown Bob, because he eats a shitload of pussy. Right, Bob? No, he's shaking his head. Okay, so he doesn't like that. He likes it, but he doesn't like it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
I heard different. I heard he likes it. I heard
he
Tungstown Bonk.
Yeah.
Tungstown Bonk.
Yeah, you like it. Ooh. No, and also you might know Youngstown Bob. So Jake produces a lot of stuff here, but he does produce Jake Marsh's and Rico and Marty's college basketball podcast called the Beamocracy. No.
Sit down.
No, incorrect.
That
that one is no longer.
The B-Mobs. What is it called?
Barstool Bench Mob.
Barstool Bench Mob. Are you sure?
Yeah, that's the only podcast that does college basketball here.
Okay, all right. I agree to disagree. And then Youngstown Bob, you might know from being my burner person. So I have access to his Twitter account, and I tweet from his account whenever. Actually, did you get suspended for that tweet I sent?
Not yet, I guess.
Okay, I think I said that I wanted the Whistler from Vanderbilt to get a disease where he loses his tongue and his lips and can't whistle, but he has to stay alive and then dies. And I tweeted that from Youngstown Bob's account, so it wasn't from me. It was from Bob. Bob,
well, you're really talking about HPV right now. So the same thing that got, what's his name? Yeah. Michael Douglas. That's what you want to happen. Tungstown Bob, you might be able to give us some good pointers. I think that was a good use of the burner account. By the way, I just started up a brand new burner account because I had to do a different one. I got sick of using the one that I had, and too many people started to follow it, so it becomes not a burner account. So I'm just whack-a-mole right now on the internet. If I do it too often, am I going to get my main account shut down?
No, they can't.
I'll start my own.
I don't think so. Okay. All right. So let's do it. Who's back of the week? Jake, lead us off because that's usually Hank leading us off. Jake, lead us off. All right. Oh, he didn't hit the mic. That's okay.
Mic is on.
By the way, I just wanted to say a little shout out to both Jake and Youngstown Bob for being here because they stepped up and we really appreciate it. And also shout out your own Twitter accounts. Let's get some followers up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Jake.
The Italians are back. Obviously, big week for them. Big win yesterday over Spain. Late last week, the trailer for Many Saints of Newark dropped.
Oh.
Sopranos prequel.
Yep.
And then also this weekend, a big return for a Italian that we know here, hanging his jersey in the Raptors for the third time.
Yes.
Rico Bosco returning to DJs.
Yes.
So just an all-around big week for Italians.
Yeah. I love it. Italian. Are
Dan
Italians
Patrick's,
having a moment?
or I mean, not Dan Patrick. What's his name? No,
Danilo Gallinari.
Mike Tirico is getting ready for the Olympics right now, so that's big. There it is.
There it is.
Italian. I think the Italians are having a moment. It would be funny to think about what would happen if you were like going into audition for the role of James Gandolfini's son in the Many Saints of Newark, and then you see like the other person that's auditioning for the role is his actual son. Like I think I'm kind of fucked on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, give it the old college try. All right, good job, Jake. Jake will also have a hot seat, cool throne, so get excited for that. Youngstown Bob, which, by the way, this is the first time we've had a true blue Cleveland Browns fan in on PMT, like producing PMT, so that feels good.
Honored.
You want to give us, before you give us your who's back, give us a record prediction.
I'm thinking 11 wins regular season, nothing crazy.
Okay.
I have too many friends that think we're going to win 14. They're insane.
Did you realize you said 11
like
wins,
that.
nothing crazy for the Cleveland Browns?
But
Yeah,
17 games.
Fact.
11 in
11, 5, and 1.
6. There it is. 11-6. And okay, so Bob, give us your who's back.
Who's back is Vacation Hank.
Oh, we're not supposed to make those jokes.
It's not a joke. He's on vacation.
That's true. That's not a joke. That is Hank deserves a vacation. He's on vacation. That's a good point. Did you guys take a vacation this weekend? No?
I went home to Cleveland for about like 4 days.
Hell yeah.
I had to move.
Jake had to move. That's not a vacation
Not a
at all.
vacation.
Did you go to Put-in Bay?
I did not, but I saw Eddie the day before he went.
Yeah, that's a fucking scene.
Yeah, I've never been.
Oh, fuck. All right, we got to get you there.
My who's back of the week is the Reefer. The Reefer's back. Sha'Carri Richardson, she was going to set the world on fire. She was going to dominate in track and field, got busted for smoking the reefer. So she is not eligible. She's ineligible to compete at the Olympics. And I think she was also today officially left off the 4x100 meter relay team. So she can't run the 100. She can't do the 4x100. It's so stupid. It's funny how the World Anti-Doping Association considers marijuana to be a performance enhancing drug. Like that's beating the final boss on advanced level. Like once Madden gets too hard and you finally have that like 17-0 season on all Madden mode, that's what she's trying to do just by smoking a little pot and then trying to run fast. That to me is like the most impressive athletic feat of them all potentially.
It's been so many days since we had a show. We missed some things, but Emmanuel Acho's tweet needs to be at least thrown out there for the takies are coming up. But he said legalizing weed in track and field competition is all good if you're running in a straight line. Legalizing weed in track and field competition is terribly dangerous if you throw the javelin. Where do we draw the line? So he not only he came across as a narc, a loser, and just really bad thinking all in one tweet. And he's definitely never smoked because I don't know, I don't think anyone's smoked and been like, let me start throwing this javelin at people. Does he think weed is
he thinks
heroin?
weed is LSD. So it's a common trait of the mind of somebody that's never actually smoked weed is that you think that if you get high, you see what you like. If you're watching television, you see somebody having an acid trip with the kaleidoscope eyes. You see the world as basically an animated Beatles cartoon if you take a hit of marijuana. And so it's very clear that was it Emmanuel Acho or was it so Emmanuel? He's the guy that's doing The Bachelor, right?
Yeah. No, he's doing. He has a show with.
But I think he was doing The Bachelor.
Line.
Okay, well, yeah,
Marcellus Wiley. I think.
Somebody give Emmanuel Acho a joint and then see if he can actually show up on television, complete a sentence. I want to see it happen. I get that it's a rule that you're not allowed to smoke weed and then compete in Olympic events. So obviously she shouldn't have done that. And she even owned up to it. She was like, yeah, I fucked up. I made a big time mistake. But I just want to say, if you're actually high competing in an event, it's awesome. It's the coolest thing you can do.
It's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible that you were able to do that to make the Olympic team while high. So, yeah, just send her that. Why don't we have a high Olympics?
Oh, my God, yes. Absolutely, 100%. I would love to have the high Olympics. You can get Sha'Carri Richardson in an equestrian event riding American Spirit.
Yeah, and people would just be like, we'd have, what we'd do is we'd get people just running out into the field and throw javelins at them.
It sounds amazing. What you're describing right now is American Gladiators, which I also think that they should have in the Olympics.
Yes. All right, my who's back of the week is the one and only Joey Chestnut, the greatest athlete of all time. I think some people think I'm being facetious when I tweet this every July 4th, but I really do think pound for pound he is the greatest athlete of all time. Maybe you could say Secretariat, but I don't. Yeah, no, I think Joey Chestnut has won 14 titles now. 14. No one has ever won that many titles at anything. They showed it. Rafael Nadal has won 13 French Opens, which is cheating because it's clay. Joey Chestnut just ate 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. The only time Joey Chestnut got beat was because his fucking fiance broke up with him a week before the competition. He is the greatest athlete of all time, and I thank God every day that I am alive on this earth at the same time as Joey Chestnut.
I think it goes
that's
1,
how incredible it
Secretariat,
is.
2, Cousin Junebug, 3, Joey Chestnut, and then 4, the disc golf guy that hit that shot the other week. That I already forgot his name, but that guy is the 4th best athlete of all time. You're right. It's amazing. Year after year, it's death, taxes, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, he's a marvel. Like and when he retires, 20 more championships down the line, I don't think we'll ever see another guy like Joey Chestnut. Like, I don't think he beats everyone. Do you see that? I don't know if you watched, but there was this fucking guy who was talking all this shit, and he got beat by like 25 hot dogs. It was incredible. Like, it's not even in the same realm. You're not even in Joey Chestnut's. You're not on his block. You're not in his city. You're not in his state. You're not on his country. You're not on his fucking earth. He is one of a billion trillion.
I bet Emmanuel Acho would be like,
if
you just let me smoke a little weed, I could go out there and eat 100 hot dogs because of the munchies, man. Like, yeah, Joey Chestnut is absolutely he's a monster. You don't tug on Superman's cape. I don't know why somebody would choose to talk shit to Joey Chestnut on the day that he goes out there every single year and does stuff that even he thought was impossible the previous year.
Yeah, the only other guy who is close to as impressive is I think it's Badlands Booker, who chugged a gallon of lemonade in like 35 seconds and then competed in the hot dog competition. And it was the perfect combo of like dudes rock and America rocks. Like, what are we even doing here? I don't know, but it rules.
It's a great celebration of Americana. Did I ever tell you about the time I ran into Badlands and Joey Chestnut at a strip club?
No, I think so.
That's basically the entire story. Is I ran into them at a strip club, and then I hung out with them for a couple hours and drank some beers. Actually, at the time I was there, they ordered something like 10 or 11 beers each, and then the next morning they were both competing in a corned beef and cabbage eating contest in Savannah, Georgia, on St. Patrick's Day. And so they did that, having gone out the night before and gotten absolutely mangled, which even makes me respect them more as competitors. They're like Lawrence Taylor doing that.
Dude, Joey Chestnut like parties. I remember when I competed against him, which I will be saying that will probably be the first line in my obituary. And I will also be very upset if, you know how people make the videos like MJ competed against plumbers, if they put me and like Joey Chestnut competed against plumbers and it was me. But after we competed, we were backstage and he's like, "You going to come to the bar with us?" I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? I ate 12 hot dogs. I'm not going anywhere for the next week. Like, I feel like absolute shit." And he's like, "No, you go back, you take a quick nap, and then the best part about it is you can drink so much tonight because you have that base." And I was like, "You're not human. You are not a human being." So Joey Chestnut, he is the GOAT. He
quite literally is built different. When people say that word gets tossed around a lot, Joey Chestnut is built different, plain and simple. And people always say, hang it in the Louvre, hang this or that in the Louvre. We should hang Joey Chestnut in the Louvre as a person. Yes,
his intestines.
Yeah, like the bodies exhibit that you see where they like take out the digestive. They should have his entire digestive tract from teeth to butthole just nailed to a wall in the Louvre for the rest of time so that we can all take our kids there and marvel at it.
Oh, man, I love it. All right, let's get to our interviews. We have Ja Morant up first. We also, speaking of Ja Morant, I think are we doing a card rip? Are we ripping cards?
We're gonna rip some serious packs. Ooh. We have a new sponsor alert. Wait, I want to hear what Youngstown Bob's new sponsor alert sound is going to be.
Here we go, Bob.
I don't know what that means.
Do a sound.
When we have a new sponsor, we make Hank do a sound.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like that. Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah. We got a new sponsor. Okay. It's Golden Auctions. Maybe you've heard us talk about them. If you collect sports cards or memorabilia as a kid, they're back in a big way. So if you want some extra cash, your cards might be worth a few bucks. Now is the time to head up to your parents' attic. Take out that childhood sports collection, see what it's worth. I know I've got a couple King Griffey Jr. rookie cards. Got a few Shaq rookie cards. I've got some nice ones. I need to see what they're worth. I used to always go to the store and get the Beckett's guide and then look and be like, oh, my Randy Johnson 4th-year card is appreciated 25 cents. I need to look at what my entire stash is worth at this point, and Golden Auctions is a place to do it. It's the leading marketplace for trading cards, collectibles, and memorabilia. And they're currently running an auction with more than 1,000 items across all sports, but we are excited to be partnering with them in a big way. They're selling packs in a box of 1996 Topps Chrome basketball. So it's Topps Chrome basketball from 1996. It's a $20,000 plus box. These packs are going to be opened live in a special box break with our crew and King Golden. He's the CEO of Golden Auctions. So go to goldenauctions.com. That's GOLDIN auctions.com. Register, choose Barstool Sports from the drop down, and bid on a pack. Lots 15 to 35 in the auction. So it's lots 15 to 35 in the auction. You have until July 10th to get your bids in. It's going to be an awesome breaking event with a chance to pull crazy rookie cards. That's the year they got Kobe Bryant. They got Steve Nash. They got Allen Iverson and much, much more. So check it out at goldenauctions.com, GOLDIN auctions.com.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. It is NBA superstar. I'm going to call you a superstar. Ja Morant. He has a documentary out called Promised Land. It's on Crackle now. It's free to stream. It's about the rise of Ja Morant, reigning NBA Rookie of the Year. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I do feel like we're part of the real media because you're sitting with the backdrop of the Grizzlies press conference room. What are you doing at the facility? What are we working on this summer? Because I know that's a big thing that everyone says he's got to work on this, got to work on that. What's the Ja Morant 2.0, 3.0 for year 3?
I'm here to work on everything in the weight room and on the court.
Love it.
Yeah, I like it. One thing I think that we as journalists need to do a better job of, and maybe just the NBA in general, their statisticians, is keeping correct track of your statistics, because I feel like you get hosed sometimes. I know that you've talked about this before, but my favorite part of your game is when you throw up a lob pass and they accidentally count it as a shot, but it's actually really just a pass, or you throw it off the backboard and that goes against your field goal percentage. And I feel like we need to figure out a way where you can let people know that, hey, I'm passing this ball, I'm not shooting it. So you can get credit for a few more assists here and there. Have you thought about that?
Definitely. Obviously, I can't control that. But me and my teammates, my bigs have that connection to know when I'm, doing that. Obviously, it's just having the ball drop right in front of the rim for them to, be able to finish it.
Yeah, I think maybe if you say, as you're passing it, if you say dime, as you're putting it up there, we can go back, we can review the film, and make sure you get credit for that, because every assist counts.
Yeah, I need all my assists and my field goal percentage higher.
Yep.
You actually need our friend Kirk Goldsberry has a stat. You have your team scores the most when you miss in the paint of any other team. 11% of the time when you miss in the paint, your team scores off that rebound. So that should count as an assist too.
Should count as 2 if we're being honest.
Okay. Yeah, now we got – all right, this is a good way. We're juicing up the stats. You will win every single award because you'll have 30 assists a game. What would you consider yourself part of the float GOAT revolution in the NBA? All these guys, young guys with unbelievable floaters?
Of course. I feel like, it's something that I've been working on, something, that allows me to, not absorb, a lot of contact, just stopping, right before the defender and just shooting the floater. And I feel like, I shoot and make floaters at a high level, so I should be, in that category.
I like it because it does feel, basketball has evolved over the years, and obviously the last 5 years, people taking bombing three-pointers and efficiency, and, you got to either shoot it at the rim or you got to shoot a three-pointer. But I think the floater might be the answer to the lost art of the mid-range jumper. The floater is the new two-pointer that's most efficient.
I feel like both, just analytics and numbers, say, those shots aren't efficient. But as you can see, it's a lot of people, in this league who, use floaters or, pull-up tools and, make them at a high level. So
How much do you listen to guys on the analytics staff or people who put numbers in front of you? How much is it like finding the balance of, hey, I'm just going to go play basketball versus, oh, this is actually good knowledge. I got to try to implement this in my game?
I actually don't listen to him at all.
There we go.
Really just going out there and playing my game.
Perfect. That's a perfect answer. I appreciate that a lot.
I feel like that's something that it could be useful. Like the coaching staff could figure out ways to put you in good positions, but you don't want your players, like, I don't want any basketball player thinking about a number while they have the ball in their hands. You know, like, I want it should be second nature. A good shot is one that goes in. That's what I always say.
That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, layup counts as two. You had a quote. We love this quote. You said your dad was your first hater. Is he still a hater of you?
100%. I think when I run Rookie of the Year, his message after was, "Good job, you still suck." I mean, ain't too much I can do, to make him say something positive. So.
Yeah, has there ever been a time when you've done something he's surprised you? He's been like, "Son, I'm really proud that you just accomplished that." Yeah,
like just my 2 seasons. Right after this season, he was like, "I don't do this, but I'm proud of you," and then start laughing.
Is he? I would imagine he's also featured a lot in the docuseries, which again is out now, Promised Land. You can check it out on Crackle. Is he a featured player in the docuseries in your relationship with him?
Yeah. We got, parts that, just shows our relationship, shows, how he played a, part in, my basketball career.
And he was a pretty good basketball player too. He played with Ray Allen, right?
Yeah. He was. I'm going to call him trash, though, since he called me trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you should just, every time he calls you trash, you should just play him one-on-one and wipe the floor with him.
Yeah, he won't play me no more. I beat him last time. We had this, kids versus adult game, and I hit the game winner on him, and he won't play me no more.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Do you remember the very first time that you beat your dad in one-on-one?
Nah, once I, got a little taller and, more athletic, he would never play me one-on-one. But when I was younger, he would, but he just post me up and was just laying the ball up, so I couldn't do too much.
Yeah.
So he just decided he would quit. He would stop playing rather than have you whoop his ass every time.
Yeah, he ran from the smoke.
Talking about another hater, you probably don't remember him, but we have a coworker, Marty Mush, who you actually said appreciate the extra motivation after you won Rookie of the Year. He said if you watched that game, I think this is talking about a game in the bubble. If you watch that game, you can't tell me that Ja Morant is good, doesn't look for teammates late in the game, and can't hit the big shots. Sad that people can't tell the truth. He said you would never win Rookie of the Year. He's a big Duke fan. So do you actually get motivation from random people online?
Yeah, I get motivation from goofies that say some crazy stuff.
He is a goofy guy.
He's very goofy.
And he actually had to shave his head because you won Rookie of the Year, but he didn't even shave his head right. That's how goofy he is.
Yeah.
He can't use a pair of clippers.
He should have just shaved it right down the middle.
Yeah.
Reverse mohawk.
Continue being the goofy guy. Yeah, I mean, so how much of that also, and I would imagine you get into it in the docuseries, but how much of like being a guy who was overlooked by the major programs, fuels everything that you've accomplished right now in the NBA? Like, do you still have that chip on your shoulder? Like, why didn't all these big time programs come calling?
Yeah, I still have that, that underdog mentality. Where I'm from is the reason, I play with this chip on my shoulder and, not receiving, any recognition and, being overlooked, obviously, just, added more to it. So I still, take that in this league and play, like that underdog.
Were there any teams, like big programs, who hit you up and was like, hey, you could walk on, or hey, well, you can play for us, but you can't get a scholarship? Like anyone who is truly, like, how could you do this? Like, I'm clearly good enough to play at Division I and higher.
I feel like if they did that anyway, I probably wouldn't have responded.
Yeah.
If I had offers, so ain't got time ain't had the funds to pay for no college.
Why do you think that was, that you didn't get recruited by those schools? It seems stupid in retrospect, doesn't it? Like, I know you probably had the confidence in yourself all along, but was there something about your game that took longer to develop than maybe other players that were your same age?
Nah, I just honestly, if we're being honest, I just felt like, everybody was just, riding the same wave. So if it was a player that had been talked about, everybody was just focused on them, because it was times where I played against, top players who had almost every D1 offer and would have like 30 and win the game, and, they wouldn't do nothing and still no offer. So honestly, I don't know what it was. Maybe they just didn't like me, but I'm glad, Murray State, offered me that scholarship and, helped me get to this point.
Maybe your dad talked to the coach and was like, hey, my son sucks.
Yeah,
don't offer him a scholarship.
Like, don't worry about it. He cannot play at all.
Probably so.
You played with Zion for 1 year at AAU, right? So what was the worst you guys beat a team? I would imagine it was pretty easy.
Man, it was, plenty of times where we would win by 40, 50. And it wasn't many times, we would lose a game either. So that tells you that.
I would imagine, like, playing AAU with Zion and throwing him lobs was pretty goddamn fun.
Pretty easy, too. He made me, look good. All you got to do is just, throw the ball by the rim and, he go get it and, do what he do.
Did you guys ever break a backboard?
Nah, I don't think so.
Bend a rim, something like that? We missed that about the old NBA. We missed the age where you could just tear a rim off a backboard.
Yeah, I don't think we ever broke a rim, but I'm pretty sure it was times where a couple of those rims was mad at Zion, for sure.
Do you feel like at this point in your career, like especially the last few months, it felt like on any given night you could go out there and be like, you know what, I feel like getting 40 tonight, and you could just go out and grab 35, 40 points. Do you feel like if you're in the right headspace, you have the ability to do that on any given night?
Yeah, of course. I have that confidence. I know I'm capable of it, but I'm just a team player. Put myself as, a real point guard. I pass first, make sure I get everybody involved. But it's also, you have to, read the defense. So if they're trying to, take my teammates away, then I know I have to score more. So,
has Grayson Allen ever accidentally tripped you in practice?
Nah.
But ever come close? Like, have you ever looked at him like, hey, dude, that was close. Like, I know what you're thinking. You wanted to trip me.
Nah. I don't look at, Grayson as, one of those players, but if it happens to, anybody, I'm riding with him.
Okay.
That's a good
teammate.
Yeah.
That's a great teammate.
Has he tried to get you to slap the floor on defense?
If he tell me to, I will.
You have a lot of Duke guys on your team, right? Like, there's
three.
Yeah. Tyus Jones on the team. Like, Justice Winslow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate all of them, so.
We have those, battles, but, we got two Michigan State, 2 Gonzaga, you got Oregon, UCLA.
And Murray State.
Yeah, Murray State. I love that. Yeah.
But, yeah, we all know Murray State would have beat all of them. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was that like when you were in college and, like, you really your last year there, it was just insane, the numbers you put up. You were like, everybody knew, like, Ja Morant was going to come out and he was going to take over the game. They had to throw some pretty crazy exotic defenses at you, like box and 1 or triangle and 2. Did you ever – what was the weirdest defense that they ever tried to break out to stop you in college?
I have to say Alabama. As soon as I crossed half, they just ran 2 people at me to trap me to get the ball out my hand. Still end up with 38, so it ain't work too much.
I love it.
One more question about the docuseries. What made you want to do it? Because it feels like some people be like, hey, you're only year 2. Are you going to redo it again, in 5 years when you win an MVP? Like, what made you want to do it right now?
Really just to, be able to tell my story, go deeper into my journey. Obviously, it was, many years before, I got to the league that, plays a part in this documentary. So being able to just tell, how I went from, a small town kid to, the number 2 pick to, winning Rookie of the Year.
You couldn't dunk until your senior year of high school. Do you remember your first dunk being like, holy shit, let's go, I'm ready?
Yeah, it was my 11th grade summer going into my 12th grade year, my senior year. And we used to have some runs at my high school. And my whole 11th grade year, I was just trying to dunk, but I couldn't. And then, got to that summer, I threw a lob to myself one time and then got me a little rim grazer dunk in. And from then on, it, just got even worse.
You feel like
it was a lob to yourself was your first dunk? That's pretty badass.
Yeah. How you just, throw it up, let the ball bounce. And
yeah.
Go get it. Yeah, I had to make sure the lob was perfect, like right by the rim, so I can just
put it right over. Sneak it right over. Yeah.
Did you feel like a changed man when you hit the ground after that?
Yeah, I let off a scream, like finally. But
yeah.
Then you get a lot of confidence after that, and I tried to dunk again a couple times after that, and it didn't work out too good. So I just had to hang it up.
I'm curious to know about maybe one of the best landmarks in America. One of my favorites, certainly, the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. Have you had a chance to go there? It looks like the most magical place on earth.
Nah, honestly, I haven't had a chance to go there. It's kind of tough for me. I just can't live a regular life and just go out in public like that.
They should roll out the red carpet for you, though. They should put you on your own little boat. They have a lake inside that thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I might have to check it out, man.
Highly recommend.
I can't swim though, so I need a life jacket.
Is the beef officially squashed between you and Andre Iguodala?
I don't beef with nobody, man.
I mean, you guys were beefing.
Somebody beef with me, they beefing by themselves.
You just happened, like, you definitely helped out with it was a story, what was it, was it last year, when he sat out, and then everyone goes crazy on Twitter. I mean, it's fun, it's entertainment for everyone who's watching, everyone who's an NBA fan, I feel like also is a fan of NBA Twitter and guys being a little more outspoken. Do you not care when people come back at you and stuff like that? Like, I love the outspokenness.
Nah, I don't at all. And then I'm, speak my mind as well. So, if you say something, then I say something back, then you take it how you want. You just let me know, what you want.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So no beef right now with Andre Iguodala, but also kind of beef.
Nah, I ain't beefing with him.
What if he said, like, I'm currently in a beef with Ja Morant? Would you reciprocate the beef, or would you just be like, you know what, you can beef me all you want. I'm over here, I'm gonna beef myself.
He'll be, just beefing by himself.
Okay. I had one last question. So the Memphis throwback jerseys, love them. The old Vancouver Grizzly jerseys. Do you guys play better in those jerseys? Because I really think you have to, right?
Yeah, them jerseys, are kind of tough. So, you walk in the locker room and you see those jerseys in there, you get hype. Me, I feel like, look better, you play better.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I really do think that's true. I mean, it's obviously not like it doesn't change that much, but if it's a little bit, like a percentage-wise, 1%, 2% playing better just in looking in those jerseys, you should wear them all the time because I am convinced you guys play better in those jerseys.
Yeah, for sure. We got a couple tough jerseys in the collection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My last question for you. Just curious, like, so you've accomplished a lot, right? You've got your docuseries coming out. You've got Rookie of the Year. You've checked off a lot of boxes. What are your goals for the next 3 years? Do you have a plan? Like, this is what I want to accomplish?
Really just, win a championship. I feel like, if I do that, everything else will, fall in place.
Mm-hmm. You think if you win a championship, your dad will be like, hey, no offense, but I love you?
Yeah, he probably would. The I love you part, he says that, but it's the on-court stuff, like proud of you, all that.
Would he?
He probably would be hype, and then it'd be like, "You still suck, but congrats."
Yeah, I want to see you win a title just to see how your dad can spin zone that.
Your dad would be like one of those burner accounts online that would be like, that's a Mickey Mouse championship.
Yeah, too many guys got injured. Like one of the worst championship teams of all time.
Asterisk beside it.
I love it. I love it. Well, Ja, thank you, man. We really appreciate it. And good luck with everything. Everyone go check out the docuseries that's out now. It's Promised Land. It's called Promised Land. It's on Crackle. And if you want to see Ja's dad be more of a hater, go watch it right now.
Yeah, and Marty, shave your head right.
I love it. I love it. Thanks so much, Ja.
Thank y'all, man.
Okay, before we get to Stu Feiner, quick word from our friends at Noom. When it comes to losing weight, there's a lot of pressure out there to label food good or bad, but that just creates unnecessary dilemmas. Noom is here to change how we see food with a psychologically based approach that looks at what you eat, but also how you eat. Instead of making you feel guilt or regret, Noom empowers you to keep going. I've had this happen a lot of times where, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm too tired. I'm just going to eat some bad stuff today because I got to get through the day. That's some bad psychology. Noom is there to help you get over that hump, to know exactly what the habits you are doing when it comes to eating and how you can get healthier on a day-to-day basis. You know, goals that I've had, like, hey, try to cut out carbs or try to eat less sugar. All those things, Noom can help so that you can have that mental toughness when you are approaching what you eat. You don't need rules to lose weight, just the knowledge and wisdom to help you build smarter, more sustainable habits. And Noom's cognitive behavioral approach helps you unlearn bad habits and better understand your relationship with food. This is for people who are trying to make a long-term goal. It's not a fad diet. It's not something that you can lose, 5 pounds in a week. It is something that will help you be healthier overall for a long period of time so that you can keep the pounds off and have more energy and feel better. One size does not fit all as well. Choose your goals and Noom will personalize a weight loss program to you. 80% of Noom users finish the program and over 60% have stuck with their goals for at least a year. Like I said, long-term goals. With Noom, taking care of your health is empowering instead of stress-inducing. No need for to fear ruining the whole program with one off day. Noom will help you get back on track. All you need is a daily 10-minute check-in, no grueling early mornings or huge chunks out of your day. So start building better habits for healthier long-term results. Sign up for your trial at Noom.com/PMT. That is NOOM.com/PMT. 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 You can get a free trial to sign up right now at Noom.com/PMT. Okay, here he is, Stu Feiner.
Something completely different.
Okay, we are now welcoming on a very special guest, one of our closest friends.
A living legend.
A living legend. He is a living legend. It is Stu Feiner. It has been 4 years since we've been out at Casa de Feiner, the compound. We're back out here for a PMT field trip day. I don't know when we're going to run this, but I wanted to start, Stu, just to get in the mind of Stu Feiner, because there's people that probably don't really know you from the PMT audience because it's been that long. But how did you start your day? Give me the exact because we walked in here at 11 o'clock and the first thing you said is you want to rip a bowl. So how did you start your entire day? What time you wake up?
Woke up at 5:30.
Okay.
Peed.
Yeah.
Went back to sleep. Then I woke up at 6:45 and took my blood, which
What?
was every day I prick my finger to take my blood because my diabetes, type 2,
I didn't know you were a diabetic.
totally out of control. My numbers are between 180 to 400 a day.
But you swing back and forth, though, because there are times where I've seen all your posts when you're like training for a marathon or doing like some heavy cardio, and you look like you're rail thin, like unbelievably skinny.
Well, I have the ability to lose 50 pounds and go cold turkey, but now that marijuana is legal, I have failed.
All right, so you wake up, you take your blood. I would love to see you.
I take
like,
my- well,
do you
I
have
take my blood-
diabetic crash? I don't.
No,
even,
never.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say,
No,
what
never.
would that look like?
I eat sugar. I eat like I'm not a diabetic, even though I am a diabetic, and I take medicine like I'm a diabetic, and I know I'm a diabetic, but I don't acknowledge it. So I live in a
Wait.
universe that
I
only Stu Feiner
just want
exists.
to. I want to follow you through the garden of your own brain on this. So you just said you have.
I'm gonna die, and I want to be eating what I want.
Okay.
Fuck the world, fuck the doctors, and fuck my medicine.
Okay,
respect.
that's fair.
And where does 15-15-30 come in? Like, what's the first? When do you start?
Specific. Oh, where does that come in? Meaning what? Today? Did I eat my wife's ass?
All
No.
right.
Yeah.
No, what?
No,
What do you mean?
I'm curious.
When you're asking the question, with evolution of it, or how did it happen, or what?
Let's go macro on it. Like, when did you decide that 15-15-30, the 15 minutes eating ass, 15 minutes licking clit, 30 minutes fucking? When did you decide that was going to be like a part of everyday life for Stu Feiner?
Well, when God stopped my growth in 7th grade, and I ended up having a 6-inch dick, claiming to have a 10-inch dick.
Bam Bam, you were Bam Bam.
I was Bam Bam.
Surreal strength.
Surreal strength.
Surreal strength.
But the 6-inch dick can stay hard and come on command.
Okay.
On command.
On command. Not now, but in my 30s and 40s, yes.
Snap.
20s, yes.
The surreal strength.
I'm
I
60.
actually have that as one of the things I wanted to bring up.
Yes.
Should we do it now?
Yes.
Can you tell the whole Steve Michalik story? The entire story, because it was one of the funniest clips of all time. And I want like the whole backstory. How'd you meet him? How'd he die? He died in your backyard?
No, he didn't die in my backyard. So, working at the 7-Eleven right here in 10th grade.
Which is what year?
1977.
Okay.
And less than a quarter mile away, he has a gym called Mr. America's, which is right there. Like if you fucking if you were able to just go through walls and through people and bathrooms and sewer holes and everything, you could go right to his Mr. America's gym.
So like
it was about 10,000 square feet in Farmingdale on Hempstead Turnpike. And it was one of the top gyms in the country at the time. And it was around probably since 1974. And steroids and just
Lots of
mass bodybuilding. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno, Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. And they would just bench and shoot massive amount of weights and just walk around like mean and angry and work out like 20 hours out of a 24-hour day, throw people through plate glass windows. So anyway, we got a job working there in this nice, hot, very mellow environment. So my job was to stack the refrigerator with juices and then in the bathroom, pick up the syringes and throw them in the garbage.
How many syringes do you think you would clean out on like an average day?
60.
Okay, so none of this, by the way, is hyperbole, just so everyone knows.
So anyway, we worked out in his gym. You were never allowed to talk to Steve or to the people that work there.
I read a story that Steve Michalik, there's like legendary
No,
stories.
you could not.
He once beat a guy up because he thought the guy was stealing his strength by looking at him.
No, I saw fights that it was really like disturbing. Like, thank God I worked for the place that was dishing out the fights. Otherwise, I would never come back there for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It was murder. You know, like people died. There's no way you get hit in the head with barbells, kicked in the face, 10 people, multiple times, thrown through plate glass windows, left for dead on the concrete, car coming, putting a body in a car. 5 times I've seen that.
Or is this
76,
real life?
7,
No,
8,
this is
9.
70s, babies. So what was it like? What was the protocol when there would be a fight inside the gym?
Everybody looks down.
Like, an
Everybody looks
understanding,
down.
let the two of them handle it?
No,
You didn't say
Steve.
anything?
No, it was always Steve Michalik and his crew beating someone up mercilessly for no reason, just because they were roided out. Like,
And did you lift?
yeah.
So Steve got you on a program.
Well, not Steve. Never talked to me.
Never?
No, never. No, he didn't talk to. But someone who brought me to the gym did. Yeah.
And did you do steroids?
No, never. They didn't even talk about steroids with us. Never.
Okay.
No one was ever sticking a needle in a bot arm then,
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
you were their age. They were 10 years older than us.
So how did, what, did you know Steve later on in life? Like,
So what happened was, fast forward to 1989, and I buy this house. And when I bought it, it was 7.8 acres. I still am on 2.5 acres. I had a 1.8 acre side field, and I had 3.2 acres in the back. 3.2 acres in the back was zoned for 70 by 100 housing units. 70 by 100. you could fit 11 with sewers and roads to code. And that's what I built. And I got the map approved, named after my oldest son. So I got Shaw Michael Court, 11 houses in the backyard. One of the houses bordered her house, and there was a flood every time it rained. So one day she caught me in the backyard, and she went right at me like
She's
nose to
Mahalik,
nose.
yeah.
She was she was Italian. Tomasina, she was Italian,
Got it.
and she was raging right at me. She yelling stuff. I said, listen, I got a map approved and I sold it to that builder, and then she handled it with him. But but she said, my husband wants to talk to you. My ex-husband wants to talk to you. So about a week later, I'm in the backyard hanging out watching them build the houses, and he again makes a beeline for me. Same exact day, fucking as if they planned it out. And as he was coming at me, I went, Steve, and I was smiling. And then he froze. Like he goes, how do you know me? I go, I worked for you in 19... And he immediately just was destroyed. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was a real asshole back then. Did I do anything to you? No, I said, no, you never hit me or anything. He goes, oh, thank God. And then he goes, listen, my ex-wife's giving me a hard time. What the fuck's going on? I said, we'll fix the problem. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm training personal people. Training Saul Katz in the New York Mets, the owner of the Mets. I said, fuck, train me. He goes, yeah. And then we just became best friends for about 15 years.
Wow.
And I'm talking about I was his best friend, and he taught me everything he knew about everything. And that's why when I say knew all religions, we had years of him explaining in-depthly every religion down to its core and stating how Scientology...
Not really a religion.
Scientology made much more sense. And to me, it made. Steve
Michalik showed you the light of Scientology.
Listen. Scientology is a way to answer questions. Religion is a way of answer questions. Before any of them start extorting you for money and then they all become frauds, Scientology makes the most sense.
Which part about Scientology makes most sense? Like the UFOs that drop eggs into a volcano?
Like in other words, half it. Like when I saw the movie, I was humiliated because that's not what.
You're like,
That's
Steve
like-
lied to me.
That's like level
No.
9.
Oh.
Steve never told me any
okay.
of this stuff because I would have thrown him out of my house.
So Steve-
I would have been afraid to be
Right.
with him alone.
Right.
Like,
Steve's
or
right.
wrong.
I think like the basic levels of Scientology
But he wasn't a
are not that
Scientologist.
much different from other
My
religions.
point with religions is
knew 'em all.
he took parts of Scientology, parts of Judaism, parts of Catholicism, parts of Hinduism, and squished them together.
He made his own
religion.
super religion?
He knew all religion.
He knew all religions.
Mahalikism?
That's incredible. He basically did. He did when you go
again.
When,
I'm sharing with my trainer gut level my life.
Right.
So we need answers. Where do the answers come from? You?
Steve
I don't think
Michalik.
so. You? No. You? No. But Steve Michalik.
so Steve Michalik essentially is like when you do the suicide at the that's a terrible
No, it's not a
terrible
Jim
word
Jones
to use
guy.
there.
No.
Terrible use of word. But follow me when you go to the soda fountain and you hit every single one, and he did that with every religion. He's like, here's a little bit of
Arnold
Sprite.
Palmer doing that commercial times 4.
Yeah,
Arnold
Here's a
Palmer's
little-
doing the commercial
Here's a little
times 4.
Sprite Buddhism. Here's a little
Yes.
Coke.
But truth be told, like in other words, I shared gut level, asking for answers, and he provided the answers.
Wow.
Like in other words, anything I was insecure about, he had an answer for and helped me.
Wow.
Any problem I had with Sandy, he had an answer for and helped me. Any problem I had dealing with a circumstance or inadequacy or insecurity or fear, he had an answer that absolutely helped me. Not just, hey, maybe I'll use it. I implemented it and it solved the problem.
What was the best piece of advice he ever gave you?
Don't do steroids.
The 2 sayings that I live and die by: disagree, set free. The way out is the way through. So like, for example, when he would make me do 300 reps of something that he started off going, give me 25. And then go, give me another 25. And then he'd be like, and I'd be like, Steve, I can't do it. He goes, no, you don't want to do it, but you can do it, and I'm making you do it. Disagree, set free. Stuart, disagree, set free. Give me another 10. Give me another 10. Give me another 6. The way out's the way through, Stuart. Stuart, come on. Give me another 60. And those 2 sayings.
I love it.
It means embrace debate, essentially.
Well, now I feel sad that Steve Michalik is no longer with
Oh,
us.
listen.
I think he's very much with us,
Now, can
Big
I
Cat.
explain
I
something
think
to
he's
you?
with us through the
He's
teachings
one of those people
Stu Feiner.
that the second he walks in a room, like meeting Mick Jagger. I met Mick Bono. I met, Clinton. I met, when the second they walk in.
You ever been on a private plane?
No. But I've had sloppy seconds. It's amazing. No. But in other words, when he walks in a room, you just gravitate to him.
Yeah.
And he's so smart, like listening to Buddha almost. He was disturbed. He had a very dark part of his life. The steroids robbed him of his greatness. It was a shortcut to enduring another decade of being at almost a high level, like world class level, but again, paid the price where his body broke down and he had to take his life.
I'm curious to know.
But in this gym, right where we are right now, the gym is right here.
Yeah.
Tell everyone. The gym is like 10 feet away, 20 feet away. We were in that gym for 3 times a week for 10 years.
Damn.
See, I kind of agree with his take that religion doesn't have to be like deciding whether or not to go to an Italian place or a steakhouse. Religion should be more like a Golden Corral buffet where you show up and it's got, and you can pick and choose what goes on your plate and whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. I think that's really the key to what religion should be. Making everybody happy, confident, content with themselves, and then get along with everybody else.
I like it.
Everything else just gets in the way. Rules just get in the way of things.
So R.I.P. Steve Michalik. Like truly,
Yes.
we didn't know the story. I mean, obviously that.
Listen, he was. So what happened was this, where Arnold Schwarzenegger catapulted to stardom as a bodybuilder and then as a movie star, as an American icon. Steve Michalik was the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger was chasing, and he got in a horrific car accident.
Steve did.
And took him out of bodybuilding for 5 years. They thought he was going to be dead. There was no way he was ever walking. He did. Competing. He did. Winning again, Mr. Universe level contest. He did. So that hurt him.
Yeah.
That was horrible. Because Arnold then went, he won the contest and then shot.
Right.
So he's like your favorite bodybuilder's favorite bodybuilder.
No issue about it. Arnold Schwarzenegger called him the Phantom.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Because out of the blue, all of a sudden, he started competing and winning and winning and winning and winning, and then he was there.
Just imagine Arnold calling you the Phantom in that cool voice of his.
Damn.
Yes.
No better compliment.
So Stu, the last 5 years, what has it been like? Because I know that our relationship started 4 years ago. I knew about you forever. But it's been kind of a whirlwind. I love working with you. I love that you have, a part in Barstool Sports. Has it just been, the thing I really appreciate about you, Stu, is that you love people. You love being around people. You love people stopping you. Has it been like a reinvigoration of your entire career?
100%, especially because of the Islander podcast, this new live stream has just blown through the roof. But yeah, for the last, let's say 3 years, can't go to a Met game or a Jet game or a Knick game or any game or a concert without people on me in the bathroom, even wanting to take a snap, wanting to take a picture. Like at the Islander games, it's crazy. If you go in with me tonight, if I scream, let's fucking go, it's like lighting a match. There'll be 1,000 people.
And you truly you love people.
I live for it.
You live like when I
Can't
told
get
you we were coming over here.
No, the only thing I would like is that people shouldn't drunk people that are twice my size, because I am only a 7th grader.
Bam,
really.
bam, yeah.
They hurt me. They grab me around the neck, and then they put a phone in my face and go, "Stu, tell my grandmother a pussy smells." And I'm locked into this larger individual, and I want to, so.
Oh man.
Can you walk me through how Stu Feiner became Stu Feiner? Because I don't know if we've ever actually gotten to talk seriously about what the start of your career was like, doing sports advisors, making being like the nation's first over the top gambling tout. Like, how did you go from working in a gym, cleaning up syringes, to decide, I'm gonna try to do this sports gambling thing and see where it goes?
Well, exactly the date was when the Eagles played the Oakland Raiders in the Super Bowl in 1980, and it was Dick Vermeil's team, and they were a 4-point favorite. And on Friday night, this guy, Professor Pix, Ed Horowitz, he owned a tax firm in Hicksville, Long Island, and he created a short form tax firm, made him $1 million. He took his money, put it into computers to pick winners on sports gambling. And he had 100 people work for him. and he had a system. And it came on TV and said the Eagles were going to beat the Raiders. And like, there was no prayer of that ever happening. Like, none. I don't even know how they made him an underdog, because they were better. They were mean. They were better. They were great. And John Madden won in 76. Tom Flores took over the team. Madden's only, Super Bowl. Flores took over. He was brilliant, and they murdered him. So I said, if this expert can go on national TV, which at the time was a big deal, he might have been the first handicap besides Jimmy the Greek to ever get national recognition, because, they did his story, short form tax from a millionaire accountant, brought his money into sports gambling. This bozo humiliated himself. So I said, Pop, if this guy could be so wrong, about something that's so simple. Like, there was no way I could ever see the Eagles, winning that game. They couldn't, and they didn't, and it was a rout. It's like 32-14. It wasn't even that close. And so I said, let's go into the business. So my father lent me $1,500, and this other guy that was 23 years older than me got $1,500, and we opened 2 desks against each other, and we bought lists from sports like magazines, Sports Illustrated, and we started calling people on the phone and just randomly calling them and saying, hey, we have picks, we pick winners, we have information, and that's how it started in 1982. Then in 1984, it was the first nationwide commercial with my company called Profit, Prophet, Line Sports.
You're doing a commercial right now.
I advertised in the NBA playoffs, and we were in the ESPN guide. We were the inside front cover. It was like a $40,000 buy, and that was the last fucking time any national commercial ever went across ESPN. Because they got so many complaints and this and that, and people were against gambling.
Right? Didn't you go up against a dog, or was it a goldfish?
No. In 1990,
Sports Illustrated? Yeah.
1990, Sports Illustrated did like an expose on my industry, paid for games, and they also, because I was the most boisterous, I was the biggest, I was the one making the most money. I had, I was making millions of dollars a year at an extremely young age, mid-20s. So they were going to get me. I had a big mouth, and they didn't like that I was aggressive with advertising. I might have embellished it, in the 80s. In the 80s, it was whatever. You could do whatever you want. Right, yeah. Exactly. It was like, so it was late 80s. I just got married, so 1989. So it was right when Magic Johnson, it was the Sports Illustrated that no one ever read. Like, you would never read it. It was the Magic Johnson cover with AIDS, their biggest seller ever, times 10. So inside, they do an expose on my business. And I hit 39%. But they put a dog with 2 bowls, favorite underdog, and a little girl that became a whore. And then, she had to pick which, A, B, and the dog died very young, cancer. Yeah! And they beat me.
They got hot. You should have hired them. Did you consider hiring? You should have hired the dog and the girl.
20%. Listen, I get 20% for 6 months. They caught me at 39%,
That's a bad streak.
Which I said to them, hey, listen, I've been worse.
You have been worse.
Of course.
You remember when you started this NFL season on Sports Advisors? Was like
0-8 on best bets.
0-8, yeah.
Until I hit that 3-team parlay.
Incredible.
What's the?
That was the pull-out of my career.
Yeah, that was actually.
It was very strong, right?
Yeah.
What's the hottest that you've ever been? What's the hottest streak Stu Feiner's ever been on?
Shit, listen, when I reinvented myself in 2015-16, when I just started, when I was on Pardon My Take with you, and I posted my games 6 months before on the internet for free, giving free picks, I was 59% for 7 months.
But you admit, you could never figure out gambling.
No one can.
Right.
Gambling is for the rich.
Correct.
To have fun, totally enjoy it, totally love it, and lose your money.
Right.
Gambling and winning were never together. The country, the world sold the big lie that gambling, you have an opportunity to win, which you have none. No, none.
Well,
and the day remember the first time I was on Pardon My Take, you said, how many games should I bet a week? I said, 1. And you almost died. And that was when I was winning for you guys. Remember, I was hot. You were betting my games.
Yeah, and
that was
Butler
when you
happened. Remember Butler?
No, but that was 2 years later.
Yeah, but Butler was bad.
I don't think Butler was that big. I just
No,
wanted
it
to get
was.
Dave's
Butler was
attention
bad.
because he didn't acknowledge that I was.
No,
I
you
won for like
texted
4
all of
months
us.
in a row. Then
You
randomly I
texted
said,
all of us.
"Let me
Game
love
of a
Butler."
lifetime.
I loved it.
Remember the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football?
Yes,
You
but
said put your life on
remember
the line.
the Bucks over the Chiefs in the Super
No,
Bowl?
but you said
in
you
the
said this-
Super Bowl.
You said if there's
in the
one
Super-
game I'll give you for my entire life, it's the Tampa Bay Bucks. They lost like 40-7.
Can we honestly say something? When I give out a game, it doesn't matter if it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It doesn't matter if it's a Super Bowl or just one game on the card. I lung it. I'm all in for that game.
This is just like
Did you say I lung it?
completely out
Lung
of
it,
nowhere.
L-U-N-G. You put your lungs on the line. It's a lung move.
Most recent text I have from Stu was Monday's Islanders Lightning game. It said Islanders plus 160. I think they lost 8-0.
Did you get
Wait, what were the games
Wait, did
before that? I gave you winners.
Did you
Let's
get
see.
mad?
Wait, I gave you a 4-1.
Did you get mad when I tweeted
Yeah,
out
you
your
did.
picks?
You did.
Oh, so why selectively embarrass me on my own podcast?
It's just
I'm on once every 4 years, and you're looking to humiliate me,
Did you
PFT.
get mad when
You
I-
know something? People think that you're the nasty one, but he is.
The
I gave you a 4. Didn't I give you the Padre bet
You
on
did,
that?
but you know,
I did, and I went 4-1.
you know what I'm really bitter about?
Yes.
The fact that I seem to be getting only like 25% of your picks.
No,
well,
no,
you
I
got to
stopped.
confirm.
No, I have to confirm. I stopped giving them to everyone.
Yeah, why'd you stop giving
I don't
them to
know
me?
because no one was listening to him.
Well,
and,
and
I
also-
got on
yeah.
a losing streak, and then they pissed on me, and then they weren't around for the winners. And
Were you mad at me when I tweeted
No,
out?
never.
That
No.
was I waited till the games were
No,
over.
listen, I'm never mad at
It just
anything
happened
you
to go-
do. Listen, you could take a shit on my face on YouTube.
All right, I'm not gonna do
Besides
that.
touching my wife, you can do anything you want.
It was bad because I didn't mean to.
It didn't
was-
matter.
It was about how funny it was.
I did good.
because-
Listen, I did good off of that because people then started following me, and then I got hot at the right time, and then they saw me win for like 6 days running. They paid me off of you putting out my losers, got their attention.
A lot of losers.
Listen, I'm going to lose 6 out of every 10 days. 4 out of every 10 days. Best I'm going to do is 60%. So that means I'm going to lose 4 out of every 10 days. You catch me in those 4 days, I lost.
Do you remember the best day of gambling that you've ever had?
This prior Super Bowl was amazing. I caught Gronkowski, first score. I caught, Tampa Bay, the under a parlay. I had the running back as the MVP, which is right there the whole game. Great action. That was a big day. It was my birthday, weekend.
That's
that
right.
weekend. Yeah, it was big.
Yeah,
That was
were you
very,
birthday
very
week?
big.
What's
Yeah,
your,
I did good.
what's your birthday again? January 31st,
January
right?
31st, yes.
Stu and I have the same birthday.
Yes.
birthday
we look alike. I mean,
This
people
was the
say to
time.
me, you PFT all the time.
This was the text Stu sent me talking about his dad. They got all the cancer, insane, great results, exact opposite of what he prepared me for and thought woohoo. And I wasn't even able to respond. I responded maybe 10 seconds later saying, so happy for you and your family. Before I could respond, you said NBA 25K best bet on Nets minus 3.5, 10K best bet on Raptors minus 2, Diamondbacks plus, and all of them, it went like 0-6. But that's what I love about you. Keep shooting.
Yeah, listen, I'm not afraid of an Owen. Listen, I could lose 20 days in a row. I'm still betting anybody.
I gotta
If you
find
put
the-
my
the
record up
Bucks
365 days a year, I'm betting anybody.
What was the score of that Bucks Saints Sunday night game?
Oh shit! It was
Like 34-0
yeah,
at
it was
half.
it was insane.
The loser? Yeah, that was a bad
That was an
game.
all-white Saints game too, right? They were wearing
Yeah.
those uniforms.
That was the last Saints shining moment. And Drew
That
Brees
was.
of his career, matter of fact.
Yes,
was,
that
yeah.
was the last.
Looking back
What
on
was
it
it?
now.
38.
Looking back on
38.
it, that was his last shining moment.
Yeah. So what do you think about this upcoming NFL season? Give us.
I think
Have
it's
you looked
like
at the,
Florida when they kept the whole team, when they kept the coach and that whole team, and they won their second championship. How are you going to beat Tampa Bay?
Are you looking at any of
You
the
can't beat Tampa Bay.
team over-unders?
I didn't actually see the numbers yet because I have to see actually the signings. But
They're weird because it's 17 games. It's very confusing.
it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't have told him that. He wouldn't have known.
I
This is
know.
Week 18. If I die in my sleep tonight, I am leaving you with a 1,000 unit game of my career. Tampa Bay Bucks minus 4 by 40.
And they lost by 31.
Yeah. And I responded,
what it was? It
I
was
said,
like a
are you
71
still alive?
It's like a 71-point loser.
But I love it. I fucking love it.
It
And
has-
How
I
do you
also-
feel now, baby?
It happens. It happens. And you're right.
Well,
We are cherry picking like some of
No.
the worst beats.
For
Listen, I'm going to say some. I'm going to say some nice things about you, Stu. I
you.
actually genuinely love you as a person.
Thank
you. are very, very kind. People don't know this, but like you are so kind with your money, with your time. You love people. You bought my son who was a year old. Stu bought him a PS5. PS5.
I'm sorry, I didn't buy it for when he was
He's like,
born, so I was a year late. That's how I looked
This
at
is the
it.
greatest gift ever. He's like, I got this gift for your son. It's a fucking PS5. And this was like when it was impossible to get PS5s. That's Stu
No joke.
Feiner. That
No
is Stu
joke.
Feiner.
You put a smile on everybody's face. Actually, like Stu days in the office, you can notice on a Wednesday when Stu's just around, people are just happier to each other.
Yes.
And I honestly do think that it starts out if you can see somebody at the very beginning of your day that's genuinely happy to see you. It makes you happier to see everybody else that you run into that day.
Yeah.
I think that's the gift that you give to people, which is
Nice.
actually
Thank
like
you.
a very special thing that not a lot of people have.
Well, I mean, like I'm honored to be treated as like peers with all you superstars there. Like you guys are superstars, and you treat me like peers.
Well, you're a
Like,
living
we're-
legend.
Well, I am, but you might not have to see it like that. You know what I'm saying? And you're so friendly, and you're so kind, and you're so talented, and then the energy is raised when I walk in that building because I have to bring my A++ game. I want to make sure everybody's on their A++ game. And, right when I walk right through, Pat's screaming, I'm screaming. I jump in, let's go fucking Lodge. Let's go, Willie. And it's just, I love it. No, I love it. I'm honored. I love it.
Do you think?
I'm the biggest people pleaser ever. I want people to be happy.
Yeah, it's true.
In spite of anything.
Yeah.
My health,
Do you think Dave likes you?
Do I actually think? I think he loves me. No issue about it.
You sure?
No two ways about it. Well, remember, I've grown into a role now by pissing him off is our best comedy.
Yeah.
So that I'm in an adversarial role with him. I'm not being his asshole buddy. I'm not kissing his ass. I'm doing direct opposite.
I mean, you
I'm
do kiss
trying-
his ass a lot.
Oh,
You
no,
say
no.
he's the richest, most beautiful.
I give him the accolades he deserves. Right?
Right.
Right? I mean, he's the hottest human in America right now. Like Matthew McConaughey.
Don't kiss his ass.
No, Matthew McConaughey has nothing on Dave Portnoy.
Right,
Right. I
right.
mean, in reality now,
If you could trade lives with anyone in the world, it'd be Dave Portnoy right now.
I ain't spitting down anybody's throat and putting a chain on. No, absolutely not. Never. And I'm not wearing
That's
tight
a federal
pants.
crime.
And I'm not wearing tight pants.
You just committed a
that squish
federal
'cause he's
crime.
got a decent sized cock.
You just admitted
Why
a federal
squish your
crime.
ball sack? I don't get
Federal
the,
crime.
I don't get
You're
the
going to jail.
fucking. I don't get the tight pants.
If
We
you
know
watch that
got the
video, you're a
money.
federal crime.
We know you got the dick.
No, that's a different one.
We know you
No,
got
they're
the
both
pussy.
federal
No, it's a
crimes.
different sex
You know,
tape that they
I mean,
put out.
Relax, wear a pair of sweatpants, Dave, and let everybody fucking just breathe a little bit around you. You're scared shit around Portnoy. So I'd rather attack than like be a patsy.
You're
like
Bam
him.
Bam.
Right? Like, I want to
Surreal strength.
Let me ask you this: if you
But I
were-
am waiting for him to die because I think I could take his role. I could do the pizza reviews. I could do all the Mad Money. I could do everything. No, besides fit into his clothes. I mean, it's not even happening.
that'd be
Unless I'm
awesome.
allowed to do 8 balls every day, twice on Sunday. Like, what'd you eat today? I don't know, 4 8 balls. That's all I did. That's all I. Well, you weigh 140 pounds. Well, I did 4 8 balls.
Sue, can you walk me through the clip? It's my favorite clip of all time, where you're on TV and the guy touches your arm, and you just immediately say, "Don't touch me."
Yeah.
His
Was
name.
that Ron Bash?
His name is Jimmy Cavallo.
Was he? Did you actually
And
not
he
like him?
did, No, he's one of my best friends ever. He did all the videos when my children were 5, 6, 7, 8, and they played football and baseball and basketball. I used to spend like 6,000 and make 50 videos, give them 2 to each friend, 2 to everybody on the team of the teams, and we filmed the whole year. And he would edit it and put music and voiceovers.
You made
he
Hard
did all,
Knocks.
He did all the high school sports. Jimmy Cavallo. His father was one of 6 people that took Mystic Iced Tea public. And he owned a beautiful house in Vermont. We skied. He took my whole family there. Crazy. So anyway,
I have no idea how much of that is true and how much is just like.
It's just
off
crazy
the top
because
of
Oh,
your
no,
head.
no,
every time he
this
has
is
one of these
on my
stories,
life,
it's like
hope to die.
it's some
On Big
company
Cat's
that
children, hope to
made a
die.
lot
No,
of
no,
money.
no, verbatim.
Don't do
This
that.
is verbatim.
Don't do that,
It's
Stu.
it's
This is
always like
exact.
wait, hold on. It's always like the perfect. Like it's a company that made a lot of money, but like how would anyone know the 5th guy at Mystic Iced Tea?
He's the vice president of finance for Mondo.
What would be my point? That's not a
Coors.
dick drop. What I just said. It's a basic story. Why are you guys so sensitive?
I just love the
You're
details.
ruining,
that
you're
guy-
ruining the vibe.
I'm
You're
sorry.
ruining the podcast.
I'm sorry.
Get
Are
the
we?
fucking program. So anyway,
All right, Stu,
So
this is your
he
podcast.
does a part-time gig with me, being the host of Sports Advisors, and we did a show right afterwards where I sold a show for like. I was making $20,000 a week just selling the show, me doing the show with 3 guys on it, and he was also on that show. So, right, just out of the blue, he touched my hand, and it just came to me. It was not premeditated. It just went.
It was beautiful. It's my favorite. And you do hate Ron Bash, right?
No, I love him, but I shred him in public.
I'm pretty sure you hate him.
No, I shred him in public. I
So
love
we're
him.
in public right now.
I hate him.
He's the worst.
No, he really isn't. But he was a pompous ass. Very smart, an excellent basketball coach, but he took 2 Division III teams to the Final Four.
Yep.
But his ad was, I took 2 teams to the Final Four. Sounds like it was like Division I.
Right.
So people hated him for that. Jeremy Schaap came to where we filmed the show once with a whole crew to expose him, and Ron Bash got in a limo in the back and spun out. So I came out and I said, Jeremy, you want to interview me? They're like, no.
Oh, man.
Do you have any real life beef with anybody?
In reality?
Yeah, like who's
God.
You got a problem with God?
Yeah, listen, truth be told, as God is my witness, I walk out the street, all people want to do is take my picture, tell me they love me, tell me I help them with their sex lives, tell me their spouse loves me and wants to fuck me, and all my friends are like, we've all been rooting for you your whole life, Stu, so there's only love. God's a scumbag. Why did he make me 5'4" 3/4"? No, truth be told. If I was 2 inches short, I'd be perfectly round. Do you think that's funny? That's not funny. No, it's funny.
I would
It's not
rather
funny.
be perfectly.
So what's the I had a 6-inch dick in 4th grade. I was doing porn. I still have a 6-inch dick. That's not fair. So I have a beef with God. Yeah.
That's pretty good, though.
4
Like,
and what? A
I'm
quarter?
5'4" 3/4.
3/4. Those 3/4 matter, though.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, you got to
She
count
said
them.
it did.
Have you lost any weight? I mean, height? You got to
No.
be like, you're getting
No.
older. 5.
No.
You sure?
No, exactly. No, every time I get on the scale, every time I
No,
measure
height.
myself. No,
Height.
I measure myself. I'm very sensitive. I'm a hobbit. It's not funny.
Are you going to get back in shape?
Yeah, I'm running the marathon October 11th, the Boston Marathon, and I'm 2 months behind on training, and 20 pounds overweight, what I should weigh right now. So it's going to be a daunting task, but I'm superhuman. I'm going. Listen, in 7th grade, 1974, Long Island, it was Jesse Owens, Jim Brown, Stu Feiner. I mean, that's how it went down.
We've had
And not really in that order.
2 podcast
Not really in
guests.
that order.
We had 2 podcast guests say that they're superhuman. Jose Canseco and Stu Feiner, and I believe you so much more than Jose Canseco. You are superhuman.
Listen, he was superhuman. I watched him hit homers. They were fucking jokes. I mean, it was scary. And then just because Billy showed that he's over the hill doesn't
No,
negate.
Billy kicked his ass.
No, doesn't negate that Jose Canseco was a legend.
No,
Billy
Billy
destroyed
kicked
a
his
legend.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care that he got hurt. Jose Canseco, before that fight, you see him, I was scared. Like I knew Billy would win, but I was still scared. Were you scared that you could get caught with a shot? Yeah. Right or wrong, you had to be.
Yeah,
He's
no,
a
he was
legend.
but he went in war mode.
No, but I'm saying, Jose Canseco's Jose Canseco.
Fuck him.
Really? I saw him in his prime. I was a big fan.
I actually think that
He
you're
used to fuck everything that walked. I wanted.
not Madonna.
Listen,
You
I
wanna fuck
wanted
Madonna.
the pussy that I would have fucked Madonna. He'd have
Yeah,
lasted 2
I know you would
seconds.
have.
I-
Jose didn't though. Jose
Really?
He said that she wasn't hot enough for him.
God, imagine being that hot.
Do you think you have too much testosterone?
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, I still take a shot every 2 weeks so that my dick can get hard and I come regularly and I can,
all right.
I can rub
That was
one
my
out 3
last
times a
question.
week and then fuck my wife twice
didn't
a
mean
week.
to do
Do you have
that.
to?
I
You have to
didn't
go to like?
No, I don't
the-
think so. No, but I think yes,
Do your
I-
sons ever say like, "Hey, Dad"?
they're humiliated. Yeah, exactly. They want to change their name. Yeah.
Do you have to go to like the T clinic to get the shot, or do you?
No,
do it
I
here?
go to a urologist.
Okay.
Nurse walks in, says, "Hi, Stu," and then they thank me. They say, "Thank you for your penis." I'm like, "Thank you." Thank God.
I feel like your days are just filled with just appointments.
Really?
Yeah.
Like doctors?
Yeah, just with like, oh, I got to go here and do. You have a great life though. Like I'm not saying it's a bad.
Fabulous.
And then you just get the food, and no matter what, it's a 10 out of 10. You just were at the hospital with your father yesterday, and you were saying that the hospital food was the greatest meal you've ever had in your life.
It is. Well, you don't appreciate life until you have an amazing life, and then you fall off a cliff, and you really got to struggle for a decade on the balls of your ass, beg, borrowing, stealing, humiliating yourself, shaming yourself, being friends with people you would never even talk to, having to be in circumstances that when you pop out of it, my God, you never look back.
I love that.
Every second of every day is beautiful. 'Cause, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you went off.
If all
yeah.
you know is good, big deal.
Yeah.
What
You
would
you got to crash.
Yeah.
what would your neighbors say about living next to you? Do you think they
Well,
like
my two
it?
neighbors here, I graduated high school with the wife, me and Sandy. So she's known me forever.
She knows what to expect.
On the other side, they're moving next week. Matter of fact, their daughter's getting married this Saturday. They're the Mead brothers, the Meads, and they were the house band at the Bordy Barn since 1984.
Got it. Okay.
So they were rowdy. Remember, I've invited you to come to the Meads, the houses, the band.
Barn.
Yeah. So they're partiers.
So wait, are you nervous about who moves in?
No, he's like 70 years old, and he's already been. They Googled me, and he thought I was funny. He's looking forward to meet me.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, 8:15, where I'm screaming, let's fuck, eat ass, lick clit. You know, I mean, he's cool.
Okay.
I might help his sex life.
There we go.
I'm a positive influence in anything I touch.
What happens when
And
you
if
go?
I touch your girl's clitoris, it's going to be my girl.
No. What happens when you go to like the DMV and you have to wait in a line where it's like a traditionally quiet environment?
In between the snaps I do with her, you Stu Feiner, come over. Yeah,
No
I'll
one's
take a snap.
talking to each other,
Well,
and
they
people just
they
like
come
face
over to me and
down.
they snap. They're like, I used to. Hey, what is Dave? I love his pizza.
So you haven't stood in a line quietly for years now.
Decades.
Decades.
You've done
I
nothing
love
quietly.
it. You love people.
I love people.
All right, Stu. Appreciate you coming on the pod. We
It's
still
an
got a
honor.
lot of fun we're going to do today.
Oh no, it's an
Make
amazing.
some
day.
videos, make
Yes.
some memories.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for hospitality.
Yes, I'm booking a one-night show at Westbury. It's going to be a one-night show. I don't know if you saw 7 Sundays with Billy Crystal. It's like a 3-hour show. He tells his life.
You're going to do that?
3,000 tickets. I might need you to come because I'm going to say special guest. I'm going to lie and say you're going to come.
Yeah, I'll
Even
come.
if you don't come, you'll
Where
come.
is it?
Okay, good. It's going to. I haven't booked it yet. I have to pay for it. It's like $28,000 just to book the place. Then I
You're
gotta
just
sell
doing
tickets
it for yourself?
Yeah, because my ego's through the roof.
An evening with Stu Feiner,
Yeah, I
presented
just
by
want-
Stu
yeah, I just-
Feiner.
I just
Say no
like
more.
the moment I book it, I want to kill
should-
every enemy I ever
well, we
had.
should
They're just
do-
going to die.
we should make
They're
it
going to
a
die.
TV.
People are just going to be like, I can't believe it. Put a gun in their mouth and kill themselves.
We need to make it a whole special on Barstool.
Done.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I can do that.
Yeah.
I can I can call it Stu Feiner and Friends.
Yeah, no, I'm saying we need to get cameras out there so we can actually
done.
put it out
We
after.
tape
Done.
it.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
pay for it. I'm not worried about that.
Can we set up like a bar on stage and just
Anything
sit
anything
sit
you want.
quietly to the side
Are
and
you
just
kidding?
watch you
Absolutely.
do your
People are going to want to see you
monologue?
guys, not me. I'm just.
No,
you
they
know,
wanna see
No,
an evening
I want
with
to see
Stu
an
Feiner.
evening
Yes.
with Stu Feiner presented by
So
Stu
I'm
Feiner.
going to do it from when I was 2 years old up until now.
You remember when you're 2?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
my mother.
no, wait, I'm not
My
gonna
mother
say-
and father.
No,
listen,
no,
My
no,
mother
no.
and father fought. There was nothing to
okay.
do sexually.
Okay.
Fought, and when your parents fight, that affects a child, and they remember those things.
Yeah.
I went into therapy to rebring them out and the wounds, and so I have it. So unfortunately, I have a great memory about a lot of negative things that key off a lot of good things.
All right.
Beautiful. All right, well, Stu,
Can't wait.
thank you. We love you and appreciate you.
I love you. Thank you. God bless you. May God be with you.
Okay, we're going to wrap up the show with Hot Seat Cool Throne because we didn't have a show on Monday. Hot Seat Cool Throne is brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Do you ever feel like summer just flies by? What do you do when you need a moment to chill this summer? Well, how about crack open an ice cold Coors Light because it is the official beer of slowing down summer. I've always thought July 4th is like the time warp of summer. Once you hit July 4th, summer goes by in a blink of an eye. You just like look up and you're like, what the fuck? How is it late August? Well, guess what? When you have a Coors Light, you can just capture those moments of summer, savor summer, and make sure that you slow down summer with your Coors Light. It always feels like the shortest season, but we need to make the most of it, and that's why we have the beer literally made to chill. It's mountain cold refreshment made to chill. So crack open an ice cold Coors Light. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's the coldest beer out there, and those mountains turn blue, and it feels like the whole world is just right. So tweet us your mountains when they turn blue. We will retweet them because we are drinking Coors Light all summer long with Coors Light, the official slowing down summer beer of slowing down summer. So check it out. Coors Light is official beer of slowing down summer because as the beer that's made to chill, we want to savor every second of summer. Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. It is the best beer ever. It is the best beer ever. So tweet us your Coors Light. We love Coors Light. Oh, yeah, Jake's wearing a Coors shirt. That's going the extra mile. Jake's a Coors man. We're all Coors man. So Coors Light, tweet us those mountains when they turn blue. I was sitting at a pool this weekend, and when the mountains turn blue and you crack it open at a pool, oh, my God. Greatest feeling in the world. So Crack open your Coors Light, send us your Blue Mountains, and drink Coors Light all summer long. All right, hot seat, cool throne, and then we're going to finish with guys on chicks. Are you boys ready to go? And Jake and Youngstown Bob will be here on Friday as well. PFT will be back in studio. We'll all be here. We'll watch game 2. So it's a week-long thing. Maybe we'll sign them to a 10-day contract and be like, Liam and Hank. Actually, no, Hank will be like, fine, I won't come back. I'm fine. So
what's a 2-way contract? Let's do that.
Oh, yeah. Like the G League. Yeah, we can call them up and down whenever we want.
I'm in.
All right, perfect. That was it. But the thing I love about Youngstown Bob, he's a great negotiator. All right, Jake, hot seat, cool throne.
All right, I got 2 actually. First one, announcers calling Royals-Reds games and giving emotional monologues.
Yes.
Nicholas Castellano did it again. The Royals announcer was giving a eulogy of someone who passed away on Saturday.
Can you put this clip in?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Well, we're going to tell you about a great man, and it's a loss for the Royals family. This is George Gorman, who passed away at the age of 96. He served our country in World War II. He went to the University of Kansas, and so did his son, Pat Gorman, who's been working for the Royals in the clubhouse for 26 years.
Wow.
And that was Pat's father. But that's a great life, 96 years. And Pat, just like his dad, went to KU. He also went to Bishop Ward High School. There's a drive into deep left center field, and there's never a great time to eulogize someone during the broadcast, so we apologize.
And Nicholas Castellano hit one to deep left again, and right in the middle of the eulogy, just like the Tom Brenneman apology from 2 years ago.
Do you know what the best part was? Someone also unearthed Nicholas Castellanos. I like to really, really get that out there. His first home run as a major league player, or it was in the minor leagues, but as a professional baseball player, was the night that we.
I'm okay with that eulogy being interrupted.
So perfect.
But yeah, it is perfect. There was also another thing Coley tweeted out. I don't have it in front of me, but somebody pointed him to a famous international soccer player that scored, I think, 70 career goals. And of those 70 goals that he scored, something like 40 of them happened on the same day that a celebrity had died. So like a shockingly large amount. Basically.
Well,
I was going to say,
kind of like
like the
we won't say his name, but a guy who has movies come out in oil spills.
But his name's R. Schneider.
Yes.
But yeah, it was laugh out loud funny. He is Nick Castellanos. He is the funniest person on planet Earth. I don't care that he's not doing it intentionally. This is the highest form of comedy that there is.
Yes. All right. Good hot seat. Oh, you got another one.
Yeah, I was just going to do Kawhi Leonard and specifically his knees as Giannis came back after everyone thought his knee was shredded. And
but Jake actually makes a good point here, because this is what happens when you have the like freak of natures like Adrian Peterson, which I mentioned at the beginning of the show. Now everyone compares him. So remember after Adrian Peterson came back from an ACL in like 8 months, every ACL for the next 2 years, everyone's like, well, Adrian Peterson came back in 8 months. Every knee injury, everyone's like, well, Giannis came back in like a week and a half. Why can't they? Well, because they're not a freak of nature like Giannis and Adrian Peterson. But I kind of like it. Kawhi was Kawhi soft?
I don't know if he was soft, but I like the fact that we have to bring up that take. I think it's a great – I don't necessarily agree with it, but I love the fact that we're having the discussion. And I do remember when Greg Kittle injured his knee. I think it was 2 years ago. And they were like, yeah, this is a 6-week injury. He was like, I'm going to be back in 2. And everybody was like, okay, Greg. And then sure enough, like by the powers of, the common person's body, he came back in like 4 weeks, which is freakishly fast. But he was like disappointed that he wasn't able to just simply will away his ruptured MCL. It doesn't always work like that, it turns out.
Yeah. And it takes are like a game of Uno, where now we have the take of Giannis. Like if you say, well, Kawhi's hurt, here's my card, we'll just throw down Giannis. Giannis came back, and boom, now you're fucked. Now you got to draw 5, 4, whatever it is in Uno. I haven't played Uno in a long time. All right, cool throne.
Cool Throne, sports writers and headline writers covering the Olympics because Bruce Springsteen's daughter, Jessica, was named to the equestrian team for the Olympics, U.S. team. And there's nothing sports writers like talking more about than the boss. So,
dude, Jake is fucking nailing this right now.
There were some articles today, Born to Ride.
Oh, man. That one's easy.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
I'm sure there'll be plenty more throughout the next month.
Damn.
Did you had it as my hot seat. Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. Like sports writers, this is a dream assignment for them because first of all, they get to go to the horse event, and then that's they can just chill out in the stands and fall asleep, and nobody will ever catch them there. Unlimited Diet Cokes at the track, and then they also get to talk about Bruce Springsteen and work in so many different lines from his songs. So I was reading this too, but the thought occurred to me like why are we giving the people who ride on the horses medals? Like shouldn't these medals go to the horses? Like the equestrian events, like you happen to be on the back of a horse that can jump super high. How come the horse doesn't get that medal?
Well, they should at least give him a medal in like hay or carrots or something. I assume they give him something.
Who knows? Right? I would just like to see them get the accolades for it like they do in horse racing. Like the jockeys, they're mentioned after the fact, but I need a podium with horses on it. I need to see which horses turn away from the flag when the national anthem's playing for their country. I need more horse-centric content at the Olympics.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, Youngstown Bob, your hot seat, Cool Throne.
All right, my hot seat is Barstool employees taking the week off during our week off.
Wait, this is... Oh, okay, go ahead.
Because Dave was just on the live stream just reaming everyone out for going on vacation on the week that we have a vacation.
Yes, it was very funny. But yeah, it is like the office is closed, but we were here watching the game, and he just roasted everyone. And I don't know, it's always funny when Dave,
some people got it bad.
Yeah, some people got it bad, but also I've always just thought that like if Dave mentions you, that means that he likes you in a weird way. If he doesn't even know who you are,
if it's it was a test this entire time. We're gonna give you a week off and see who actually takes it. And the ones that take it, they don't deserve to be here in the first place.
That's not so. I know. It did. People are probably like, "What the fuck? We could take a the game one stream came together very last minute because we have a meeting tomorrow, and it was like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be doing PMTs." Like, all right, well, Overs Club, I'll come in, and yeah, but it really sucks if you're Marty Mush came all the way from New Jersey. I don't know if you saw that PFT. He watched the first half, and then he got in an Uber and showed up at the second half and being like, "Hey, I didn't know you guys were gonna be here." Awesome. It was very
Good
well
for
played.
Marty.
Yeah. All right, your Cool Throne, Bob.
All right, I have two of them. I have the Overs Club, now 3-3.
Yep.
I hit today.
Yep. Barstool Sportsbook. Yep.
And I also have I think the local TV commercials are going to be great in the future because I think all these local athletes, like D1 athletes, there's going to be some like cringy, funny, comical commercials.
Yes, that's
I think those are going to be coming back.
We need to make some. We need to make some for them. But yes, that absolutely like the entire offensive line of Notre Dame doing like a South Bend Ford dealership. That would be very funny. Like there will be that where guys are just cashing a check. I didn't even think about that, but I like that, Bob.
Oh, I love that. I love that idea a lot.
Like
we should do that with Alex O'Connell.
Thanks, PFT.
With like hey, I'm AOC here for the car stick store. And we'll just like do a pop-up shop of car sticks and have him advertise that for us. But yeah, the local businesses in general, not just like car dealerships, but like mom and pop restaurants. You know what they should? It should be like an entire offensive line at whatever the local buffet is, and just have them like in front of a mess of tables and just like the fattest guys that you can find on the team just go into town on some burgers.
That's always one of the best events of the year is the Outback Bowl when they do like the meat eating contest between the two teams. It's like this team ate 900 pounds of meat and this team ate 950.
I'm also interested to see how Nick Saban handles like players doing ads for various businesses in the local towns. So like, I don't know, like you can't obviously do business with a gambling company, or there were a couple others like adult entertainment, alcohol, tobacco, or some. But you know that there's some places that Nick and Miss Terry don't like to go. Maybe they haven't gotten great service there in the past. And if he finds out that one of his players is going to a place that he personally left a 1-star Yelp review on, he might get mad at that player for endorsing it.
Yeah. It will be. I'm excited to see how all the NIL breaks out. I've also thrown out the offer that if there are any potential 5-star recruits, basketball or football, that want to attend the University of Wisconsin, I will buy all their shirts. So that's just out there. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. Let it land wherever it does.
All right. Well,
your hot seat.
My hot seat was going to be nepotism
because
Jessica Springsteen qualified on her own without her daddy's help for the equestrian events in the Olympics. My second facet of the nepotism was going to be that the Washington football team report was issued on Friday, and because Tanya Snyder has taken command of the team from her husband, Dan, so it happens to be her husband, Dan Snyder, there will be no significant punishments levied towards the team in terms of draft picks. And I love the fact that, did you see that it was, first of all, you can set your watch to it from the NFL standpoint, that there will be a news dump that comes out either the Thursday or Friday in the afternoon before the 4th of July long holiday weekend. It's every year. They time whatever their worst study is or their worst report is, it's going to come out on that day. They're geniuses when it comes to scheduling that up. But they also didn't actually issue a report. It was an oral report that was given. So it's like Snapchat the report. There's no record of the report ever happening. It was just somebody told Roger Goodell what the report found. And then Goodell was like, okay, here's my punishment. No paper trail. And honestly, I think it might be the smartest thing that Roger Goodell has ever done. He's like, why are we writing things down and uploading them into a cloud? I don't have to do that. There's no Freedom of Information Act when it comes to the NFL. Just tell me the bad stuff that happened, then I'll make my draconian punishment. So in this case, he knew that, it's impossible to screenshot an oral report and then, tweet it out and get 5,000 retweets on it. So Goodell, another tip of the cap to you, the PR master. You handled this one in a way that really you probably should have been handling everything in the past.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chess, not
my
checkers.
cool throne is
your cool throne.
Baker Mayfield contract debates. This is off to a early start. You can tell when you're getting into like a couple really slow news days when it comes to sports. It started 2 weeks ago when I first noticed it. They started debating whether or not Baker Mayfield should get a contract extension right now and how much that extension should be worth. He has like another full year, probably like year and a couple months before they want to decide if they want to give him an extension before they get into the final season of the deal. Like there's absolutely no reason why he would be getting a contract extension right now. But this is the start of does Baker Mayfield deserve to get paid like an elite quarterback discussion that we're going to be having all year long and well into next year too. I just want to put that out there and let you guys know that this is what you're witnessing right now is a seed that's like just starting to germinate and
Okay. You were talking about Baker
what you're
Mayfield.
starting to see is just like the beginning of a germination of a seed that we planted a few months. Actually, we planted the seed back in the Joe Flacco days of like, is Joe Flacco elite? Does he deserve to get paid as an elite quarterback? That is happening before our very eyes with Baker Mayfield. So you're going to see that discussion take place throughout the entire next season. It's like, it's way too early. When you look at the calendar of when you should be talking about certain players getting extensions, we're at least a calendar year too early for Baker Mayfield for this discourse. But the powers that be have gotten together and decided that now's the time. I've seen it pop up here, there. It's going to explode in the next 6 months. I'm telling you right now.
So PFT lightning hit his house or right outside his house. As he was in the middle of that, and when you went away for a second, Youngstown Bob said, "What's the interference? Do you guys hear that?"
Yeah, it's coming. I can cut. It's coming through his thing.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. So here, turn off your mic. Yeah. So while you were out, PFT, Youngstown Bob said that he actually was having this conversation on the golf course this weekend as a Browns fan. So it's happening. And Bob, let's get your take.
I honestly think it's time to like lock him down now. I was the most anti-Baker guy 2 years ago, but I mean he proved he could win. I don't know. He's our quarterback.
Also, I think
But it is time to start talking about that.
As a Browns fan, it's got to be thrilling to you to get to have that conversation right now. Like there's a reason why you're having it way too early. It's because this is the first quarterback that you've had in a long, long time that has even been worthy of this discussion. So you've actually been like anticipating talking about whether or not Baker Mayfield deserves an extension for like 3.5 years.
Oh yeah, the guy. I was paired up with 3 random guys at golf the other day. They had a Browns golf bag, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna chop it up with these guys." And sure enough,
that's what it got.
First question was, "Are you a Browns fan?" I'm like, "Yep." And they're like, "All right, we're gonna have a fun round then." And we just chopped it up about Baker, and 11 wins.
This is great. What's happening on the streets? We need this from Youngstown Bob. That's what people are talking about. All right, so we're gonna skip guys on chicks because PFT's block got hit by lightning, and we'll do it on Friday. So we have the question. We'll do it on Friday. I'll do my hot seat cool throw, and then we'll guess some numbers. My hot seat is simply the Water Dogs. They fucking suck. I'm so sick of this team. They're terrible. I watch every game. At least they shot more. Also, we need an enforcer because our guy Drew Snyder got fucking jacked up. So we need an enforcer. And Paul Rabel did not deserve to get fined for his skirmish. He didn't deserve to get fined.
I think that if you're going to fight, you got to fight harder. I was disappointed that Paul Rabel didn't do enough to get fined. It's like a Frank Kaminsky thing, you know? Like I would have liked to see Paul Rabel step up to defend his teammates to the same level that Frank did. But you know, like he is the face of lacrosse, so I'm sure that he has those thoughts like, okay, I'm the face of the league. I can't be biting some guy's finger off out there.
Yeah, but the Water Dogs need to win. It's now or never. We're the second to worst team. I'm so sick of watching them suck. So get your fucking shit together, guys. Like, this is it. This is the last call. Otherwise, I'm firing everyone. I don't think I have that authority. But if I do, I will fire everyone. I think it's simple, Big Cat. We do move the team. If they lose this weekend, we're moving the team. You know what we do? We make them the Water Cats.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, and then my cool throne is baseball. We give baseball a lot of shit, but I am legitimately very, very excited for the All-Star break and All-Star game because of Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani was the first ever to get voted into the All-Star game as a pitcher and a batter, and he's doing it all. So he's in the home run derby on Monday night, then he's going to pitch in the All-Star game, and he's going to DH in the All-Star game. And this guy, like, this is what baseball needs. They need a guy like this. It's fucking awesome. He has 31 home runs, 83 strikeouts that he's given other people, not for himself. He's electric. Every fucking home run he hits, though, too, like, he pisses on the baseball. It's violent what he does to baseballs. So I'm pumped for Shohei Ohtani to be the next Babe Ruth and for everyone to get jacked about this and for MLB All-Star break to be awesome.
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything about that.
Home run derby game?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna guess no, but that would be incredible if they brought him out as like a surprise guest, like how they do, like the Masked Singer. Essentially, they have somebody step up. Yeah.
Or
the glass breaks and Christian Yelich just sprints out of the dugout. Next thing I know, I got to go buy Dinnell Dam. I think I love Shohei Ohtani in the All-Star game. I want to know the answer to the question: could Shohei Ohtani strike out himself?
I would say no. He had a streak this last week where he had all seven of his hits, like in a row, consecutive hits. They weren't like he had outs in between them, but they were 7 home runs. So when he hit the baseball, it was a home run. Like that was just the result that happened when Shohei Ohtani hit the baseball and recorded a hit.
What he's doing right now in baseball is honestly something that I never like. It blows my mind every time I see him either strike somebody out or hit a home run, knowing this guy can do both of these things. It's something I never thought that I would see in the game ever. It's bizarre. It's like the ambidextrous pitcher that we had, 10 years ago that was going to change the sport.
Yeah.
That's like the one last mountain to climb in baseball. Now that we have a pitcher that is maybe the best pitcher or one of the top, handful of guys pitching in the game and the best hitter in the game, the last mountain really is to have the ambidextrous pitcher that can throw 100 on the black with either hand. But besides that, it's like it's incredible shit that he's doing.
It really is. So I'm excited. Good job, baseball. I mean, you didn't do anything.
They didn't fuck this up.
Good job, baseball. Yeah.
I would just like to say, Rob Manfred, do not piss test Shohei Ohtani. Whatever you do, I don't care what he's on right now. The only way you could fuck this up is if you stuck a little test strip into a stream of urine, and then you were just a big bummer for America. We're doing okay as a country right now, okay? Don't harsh everyone's mellow. We're trying to come together. Just let us have some fun with Shohei Ohtani.
Agreed. Or the sticky stuff. If he wants to use sticky stuff,
no discipline on Shohei Ohtani.
Fuck that. Yeah. All right. Let's do numbers. So Friday, I think we have the return of our good friend Ryan Russillo. So that will be fun. We'll talk some NBA Finals with him. PFT will be back. We'll do Guys on Chicks and Firefest then. We'll be taping after the game, so we'll have a recap there. But yeah, good show, boys. Good job, Jake. Good job, Bob. Love having you boys here.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys are now on a 2-way contract, which Bob signed almost immediately.
Give me
All right, numbers. Guess them, Jake. Now, if one of you gets this, I think you get promoted.
Agreed.
And we relegate Billy. So
8. And yeah,
we
should relegate Billy. Billy has to produce Jake's podcast.
Yeah, yes. It's called The Big Man on Camp.
Barstool Benchmark.
Barstool Benchmark.
Yes.
Got it. I got it confused. All right, number, Jake?
25.
10.
All right,
8,
99 for me. Oh, 21. 21. All right. We'll see everyone on Friday. Just a little time check. It's 1 a.m. And we do technically have this.
And I'm doing
week
this
off
show in a power outage. I got hit by lightning, and we finished the show. That's hockey tough, baby. Love you guys.